Well, hello. It is time for the final round of the Imperial bracket of Age of Empires games of the Blair Community Cup. So pull up a chair and grab a drink and get your blanket and whatever it is you do, and we'll get started here shortly. Um, we are so my planned co-caster for tonight is going to be here, but running a bit late, so I'm going to start casting by myself for probably the first uh game or two, and then we'll go from there. I do need to also 1 second here. So yeah, we'll have two sets tonight. First of we'll have corner checkers versus castle droppers, which is yeah. Both teams start with C, which is far too difficult for me. Uh, yeah, that'll be our first set. And then after that, playing for first place are going to be the uh, Outpost Rushers versus Fast Castle Boomers, each of which have won 5 of their 6 preceding games. So 5-1 each. So winner of that set will determine who is the winner of the entire tournament. So yeah, we are going to get started with the other set though, and we do have Civ drafts. So every time, man, every time. Map drafts for Castle Droppers versus Corner Checkers. We don't have bans, unfortunately, but I can pretty much guarantee that Georgians and Bohemians and I don't know, maybe Khmer would be my next guess were banned. But yeah, as you can see, Maghreb is actually a first pick for one of the teams, so there is a chance we're gonna see that played. Should Castle Droppers get to choose a map, which is exciting because we haven't seen it all tournament, and I'm really interested to see how it would play out. Um, and then on the other side, oh, and Boulder Forest. I don't think we've seen Boulder Forest play this tournament at all yet either. So a lot of exciting stuff. On the other side, we do have Donut and Grand Barra, both of which we've seen a couple of times. But I don't think we've seen these teams. No, we did see Castle Droppers versus Outpost Rushers on Donut, which was a super, honestly too close to call almost. Um, yeah. Feel free to grab a bingo sheet, exclamation mark bingo in chat to do that. Also, if you have the BTTV emote extension added, feel free to check out what emotes are there. And finally, if you played in the tournament, make sure to hit exclamation mark feedback to get to the feedback sheet. If you're watching this on YouTube later, if you are in the Blair Community Discord, there's a link to it there. Do please get us the feedback there. This is the last stream, well, the second to last stream. The last stream will be the final road of Castle Bracket, where we will also uh, hopefully be talking a bit about the feedback that we got. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we get there. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into game one of Corner Checkers versus Castle Droppers, taking place on Hun Akare. Um, yeah, once again, I think we've seen Hun Akare almost every single set. Uh, it's really cool to see. I know this is like it feels like a really I don't know justifies the amount of work that was put into it because I know this map in particular was a struggle to script. Um, and it's one of the only maps where we actually had like a fixed scenario rather than random generation, just because it wasn't able to work out. But it's cool to see that it was so popular nevertheless, and I'm guessing that's also encouraging to the map scripters to see that people had a great time on this map, and I think we already had some offers from people who are interested in learning map scripting, and yeah, we'll see what kind of maps we get next tournament. In the meantime, though, we have Team Castle Droppers win evens. On the north flank, we have the Drewster as the Romans. Drewster does enjoy Romans, which is interesting because he often goes archers, but then again, Drewster is very versatile. So potentially here, men at arms, siege, scorpions is something I can see Drewster doing if he goes aggressive here. In his pocket, we have Juby as the Vietnamese, an archer civ, very strong counter archery, and good war offense as well. And if she's in pocket, that might be what she's going for. But I guess we will see how that goes. Is going out to wood already. Uh, Oh no, 6-3 though. That's perfectly normal. Okay, I thought she was doing a bit of an interesting build. But cool. Um, yeah. Second pocket we have Thorin. Did Thorin stand in here? Or is this... Hold on, hold on. I need to pause this real quick and... Huh. Let me double check to make sure I'm on the correct one here. Um, yeah, that should be. So I don't know if Diffensick had to drop. I guess maybe Diffensick had to drop, and so Thorin stood in. And to be fair, Thorin played incredibly well in the lower bracket, and we've seen what he can do with a good boom. So yeah, excited to see what happens there. We have seen with Spanish as well on this map go into Paladin and then divert into Conks as needed. Also been mixing in the missionaries, which I really like to see. It's not something that you see a lot of players do because they're like, it's fine, Paladin or tanky, but just having that little bit of extra healing really, keeps those Paladin alive much longer and creates so much value for just the cheap cost of 100 gold. And then on the other flank, we have Islar as a Byzantines, and I do expect a more defensive setup from him than here, with a defensive civ like the Byzantines. However, we have seen, I think Fast Castle Boomers subvert that expectations by playing Byzantines on the south flank and then push with that. So, yeah, anything is possible, I guess. Let me move over to KD so we can track if a villager goes down, as Killikyle is bringing in a boar. Also playing as a Byzantine, so we do have a mirror matchup, and I think that's what's really going to encourage defensive play in the south. Byzantines are difficult to push, and you can still try pushing with them, but pushing Byzantines against Byzantines is still tough, so this feels very much like a defensive setup in the south. But I suppose we'll see. Hey Southpaw, do you know, was Thorin standing in for Diffensick this set? Because that kind of caught me by surprise, but it's on all the games, and I thought it was a mislabel at first, but it seems to be right. And I mean, okay, and Spanish is definitely a Thorin pick. Okay, cool. In the pocket of Killikyle, we have Persians for Gil-galad, and I think this is a similar lineup of civs that we've seen from corner checkers in the past with the adaptation. Obviously, Southpaw told me that Gil-galad diverted to Persians after seeing what Paxlayer did with Savar, and I mean, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so for context, for those of you who don't know, Diffensick is EU-based, so for us it was later at that point, during the last set, obviously. And so I guess Diffensick had to jump out, and yeah, but cool that we have players, and I think Thorin's definitely about ready to step up into the Imperial bracket, so cool that he got the chance here. But yeah, as I was saying, if Killikyle plays defensively here and gives a free boom to Gil-galad, we might see that Savar flood again, which would be pretty sick. In the second pocket, Puddles of the Lithuanians. Also really strong pocket civ on this map, I feel like, in particular, because of all the relics that are scattered everywhere. That sets a really good kind of chance for your Lithuanians to get your +4 bonus, and then your cav can just go from there. And on the top flank, Southpaw playing as the Huns, so maybe looking for some scout aggression, I suppose. As I say that, I am wrong, as he goes for the archery range. So no scouts for him, looking to go archery units instead. And I guess Huns do have solid cav archers, which if Southpaw's opening archery range, I expect he's going cav archers more than heavy cav, but we'll see. Game 3 will be different. We lost Gil-galad and Thorin, so Fletcher was on. Yes, I remember this. You guys came, yeah, so on game 3, couple players dropped out, and so Fletcher and Wazell from Outpost Rushers filled in. Which I'm excited to see what kind of mix and match strategy that created. But cool. Walls coming up here. This is something we've been seeing very consistently from corner checkers is the pockets, or specifically puddles coming out and helping with the full wall here, which kind of alleviates the amount of resources that Southpaw has to invest and frees them up to go aggressive. So that's a cool strat, I think. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. In the south, walls also coming down for Islar, and okay, so Islar's going for super defensive walls. I feel like it would be easier and also cheaper to just wall these tree lines. To be fair, there's a gap right here, which I missed in our first game. But it'd be shorter. Now this is safer, it's close to the TC, so it's easier to get that second set up and defend the walls if they get attacked, I guess. So, fair enough. And other than that, looks like Drewster's actually walling up in the north as well. And we have an archery range from Juby also helping to plug this, so maybe looking at going to archers early. And Gilgalad on the way up to Castle Age, first player. The sick eco. Yeah, just a straight fast castle, and I mean he has the advantage. He and Thorin, who should also be going up shortly, are the only two players who haven't had to invest any resources into walling. So they're going to be about that bit faster. And yeah, Thorin is up, as well as Drewster. And, ooh, Scout goes down to the villager. Nice there from Drewster to do that, to get that. A bit unfortunate for Southpaw's Scout. And it was one hit off, and denying this wall would have been huge. And actually, Puddle's Scout is here now and could finish this. He's deciding, he's going in, and yeah, he should take this. And yeah, with the Scout keeping that open, Southpaw's archers are going to be able to come in. And Juby might also lose a Scout here. This might be a disaster for Castle Droppers if they can't get this plugged. They have no army ready yet. We have 2 archers from Juby, but probably... I mean, they haven't seen the archers from Southpaw yet, but as soon as they do, I'd like to see some skirms added, and spears. We need spears from Drewster. No military from him as of yet, and this army will easily take out the single archer. And Bloodline's coming in for the scouts as well. Yeah. Juby's does manage to keep her villa alive for now, and Drewster is about to be up to the Castle Age. But let's see what he does with that. Is walling himself off towards a TC here, which will help with the defense. And in the meantime, in the south, Aizo's pushing forward. Looks like he's got some pressure on Killikal's dock and will be able to push him off of water. And 1 second here. Here we go. Yeah, in the north. Ooh, the archers moved on. Looks like they denied a stable here, actually. So that'll have to be built in the back. Eyes are now on the way to Castle Age as well. But this pressure could be rough. Ooh, these villagers are in trouble. Southpaw micring. Good choice from Drewster to not run them back to the TC, where they just get sniped on the way, instead of running them kind of across parallel. And we'll be able to loop them around and bring them home. However, these archers are still here in full numbers, and are gonna find the gold shortly, I think. Southpaw's resources still looking a bit tight, so not gonna go Castle Age yet to turn those into crossbows. But Puddles is on the way to Castle Age. And yeah, as I say, I was about to say they need to close off these walls, but as I do, Drewster comes out to finish with 2 houses. We'll one-tap them to just close that gap. We'll need to make sure to also get this palisade built. But Southpaw's archers are on the gold. Oh, go past the gold. Just force Drewster off of wood. That's a lot of weak villagers. Doesn't look like any snipes found, but a lot of weak villagers. And yeah, Juby needs to be adding skirms, which she does have queued up right now. Takes an okay first trade, and knights from Drewster are here now, which will definitely help, and they do have the first armor. Armor also coming in for Juby's archers, and I think with that they'll be able, with the skirms now as well, they'll be able to push these archers away and clean up this forward from Southpaw. But that did force a lot of damage. Got, I think, 2 or 3 villager snipes and just created a lot of idle time for Drewster that he's going to have to catch back up. So still value out of this push here. And I think, yeah, even more value than I thought. 2 more villagers dead here for Islar as Puddle's scouts are actually still here. And finding kills, delaying this TC. Looks like another villager or 2 might go down here. Yep, that's another one. That's 4. And maybe another one as the villagers don't engage. This villager is running for her life. Yep. Oh, really good value here out of this forward pressure. And on the other side, I mean, they are kind of knocking down some buildings, but not a lot of eco damage being found here. And this scout, Puddles is just being annoying with it. Isler does have spears here, so he'll clean that up. But yeah, as you can see, this did cause some serious delay. Castle Droppers now behind by 20 villagers. And that's despite them having water. Although, as I say that, in the north it's actually Puddles on water and looking to go for a forward dock here. So it looks like Corner Checkers will have water in the north and Castle Droppers in the south of the map. And we hit a bit of a lull as all the players, kind of the early pressure subsides and the players focus on their eco. Puddle's going for an early monastery, obviously, as Lithuanians wants to bring in those relics as soon as possible for his cavalry. Fire galleys being queued up inside this dock, so we'll see if Killikyle can get back on water. It looks like that's his intent. And lots of TCs being dropped. We got 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 3. It looks like Gilgal has been going for the Savar strat here. And yeah, does have a healthy eco, 20 on food. So definitely getting there. More and more farms being dropped. Does have just the first upgrade for now, but I expect to see more there. Oh, sorry, no, I was looking at Puddles. Gilgal does have almost all the second. Is missing Bowsaw, which would definitely be helpful, would allow him to shift some more off of wood into food. But definitely a healthy looking eco for him. And this stock will go down. And ooh, like the addition of the demo, that's fun. However, these are fire galleys versus fire ships, so Killikyle will not be able to get back on water here at the moment. Could consider adding a tower here and get heated shot or something, but I don't know if that's worth the investment there, right? Big spear fight happening here. Byzantine versus Byzantine spear fight. No upgrades for Islar, no upgrades. So Killikyle wins that by like 1 or 2 hits, I guess. Which is actually nice for him, because then he'll be able to not take down the scout, but get on a solid hit at least. Ooh. Does look like Killikyle has managed to sneak a fire galley through and is going to try to snipe some of the fish here. But it's going to be close, but I think this galley goes down for free because it doesn't have the speed of the fire ship yet. Yeah. Good attempt though. I like the idea here. In the south, Islar has also somehow squeezed a monastery onto this tiny corner. And a mining camp, and has brought in all the relics for himself. In the north, I think we'll see something similar from Puddles shortly as he brings up 2 villagers. And Puddles is on just the 1 relic for now. Where's this monk hanging out? Okay, so I think he's going for this relic right. And more pressure coming in here. Looks like Drewster's been denied off of gold once again, and that is the problem with using the gold as part of your wall, is that archers can push you off real easily. Knights here now from Puddles, and a massive cab archers from Southpaw, and this is something that they're going to need to find a response to fairly quickly. There are Scorpions available for Drewsters that he's going into. I don't know that'll be enough for now, and yeah, so he'll opt to fortify behind with a stone wall, but I think the archers can reach this. However, Scorpion is here and will start doing damage, so I think this whole ball actually has to move back. Looks like the archers are going to go down. On the other side, though, Imperial Age coming in for Gil-galad. And we're looking at 36 on food. Gonna need more on gold soon, but... Oh! However, the Cav Archers have broken in. The Skirms are engaging against the Knights, which is not what the Skirms want to be doing. We'll take them out, though. Surprisingly. But the Cav Archers are gonna start moving through and be annoying wherever they can. And I think Juby's going to lose some more vills here. Imp is on the way for Izar as well. Juby goes for a defensive castle, which is a good move, but going to cost her a lot of vills here. Might want to garrison the villagers in the TC until the skirms arrive. But as they do, they will force back these massive Cav Archers. However, that means Thorin is going to be hit next. And yeah, lots of kills being found here. Thorin doing a good job of pulling away his... Ooh, the range indicator. Show range zones for selection. I think that's what it is, yeah? Yeah, there we go. I don't know why that turned on. I must have hit whatever the hotkey is. Ooh, and Southpaw's just finding vill kills everywhere. 17 eco kills on these guys. Knights from Thorin coming in now, and a nice little collapse, so we'll potentially be able to at least push this back and hopefully even clear it up. But that is an insane amount of damage, and now a 50 vill lead, actually, for Team Burner Checkers. Doing a nice job of snowballing this advantage. Forward castle coming for puddles as well now. And yeah. Southpaw. Even being a micro nerd, gonna get all these knights. Chatra is now coming in. All right, so Juby is going elephant, which will be difficult for the Cav Archers to deal with, and which will even do okay against Lithuanian cavalry. Although they do have well, no relics here yet. Still just +2 bonus at the moment. What's the monk up to? Alright, getting another one though, monk being built in this monastery as well, so full Lithuanian bonus will be here soon, and stables are being set up. And the Cav Archers are still here, haven't been cleared up, so still a threat. And I think, yeah, there you go, Thorin is going to go ahead and search for those, which is the right thing. You can't have these running around. And are they going to find a snipe on that monk? Yep, monk goes down. And that feels like a bit of missing communication there for castle droppers. Although maybe Izar just wasn't tracking. May have had a waypoint set for the monk. But yeah, still finding value. Still finding value. Yeah, I mean, Puddles is having a great boom. Gil-galad is also, he's up to Imp. 40 on food now. 20 on gold. I think, yeah, Cav upgrades starting to come in. And even more villager snipes being found. Even more as Southpaw finds the tiniest little corner where the knights can't even engage properly. Izar needs to delete this house. That might have been enough. Deleting the house or pulling the vills away. But the Cav Archer raid is finally cleared up. Almost 80 vil difference by now, though. The eco is looking terrible, and the next wave of Cav Archers is here now. Not just a ball, this is 35 Cav Archers, and Latest and Knights behind, which will not be as easy to clear up. Savar on the way from Gil-galad. The pressure is about to get started here. We do have Dromans from Izar in the south, which is good for control. You do have to be careful on this, particular in the south here, because there's so much shallows here, and knights can easily rush in and take out these Dromans. So you got to keep them protected. But looks like he's holding defensively, so might help in the north. But the push is getting started. And there's actually a lot of sections of wall that's just a building or two. Now, if Juby's going elephants, which is a solid choice. I think another good option. I guess elephants are better against the cavalry as well. If it was just the cav archers, Imperial Skirm from Vietnamese. And actually, any of the players could go Imperial Skirm. This is a team bonus that the Vietnamese has. So that is probably something I'd like to see mixed in if Southpaw continues to go cav archers. Ooh. Mangonel's also a decent choice though, and the cav archers will push back. A lot of siege here at the moment. However, ooh. Last second quick wall. It's like they're trying to bait in the cavalry here by deleting the house. And Legionnaires on the field now. I don't know that I love that. I do love heavy demo coming in. That is fantastic. So definitely defensive play from Islar here, in which case I'm gonna need to see army from Thorin move north to helps. Once he gets there, he is on the way to Imp. Capped Ram, okay. Capped Ram coming in, so maybe forward pushing from Islar after all. But it looks like Brewster's military is waypointed forward. And those Legionnaires will just kind of go down. And this gold is about to be under threat again. And that's a lot of cav archers by now. 53 cav archers on the field. This is a concerning amount. Lithuanian Paladin as well. Numbers steadily growing. I do like the siege here from Drewster to defend. It's probably some of the best value he's gonna get, and some nice shots. And Legionnaire is able to hold some of the choke points for the time being. Any big shots on these cav archers? Okay, okay. A couple more. There we go. That'll take some of the HP off, but the cavalry is in now, and there's not much military here to face them. Paladin is on the way from Thorin. But those will lose to Lithuanian Paladin just because of the +4 bonus from the relics. And Rooster's in a lot of trouble. On the other side, ooh, looks like a big push, big demo shot. Ooh, nice damage there. Demo's finding value, and this Savar push is stalled out for the moment. Looks like the Knights are here from Thorin as well. I want to see that Droman attacking this ball. Hand cannons, or that Droman. But if they're gonna push in the south, they need to get moving, because pressure in the north is on. And Drewster's in a rough spot, coming up with a defensive castle here. Juby may consider kind of walling off here to defend a bit. Oh, goes for a defensive castle up here actually. And elephants are on the way now, and to be fair, elephants will tank a lot of fire. Now, in these numbers, cav archers will still take them down fairly quickly, I guess. But if Juby can get her numbers of elephants up, that might be good. And we do see some elite skirms on the field, which I'd like to see upgraded to Imperial. However, the Paladin are a problem. There's a fair number of castles here and TCs, so a lot of protection for the eco. But that might not matter, and Rooster is down to 29 villagers at this point. On the other side though, the push is on. Bombard cannons have been added. This castle is under threat. Paladin coming in as well, and paper money for Juby. Paladin are about to hit Thorin's eco though. And this is where you need to see a ping from the team. Hey, there's about to be a big Paladin raid. Well, maybe it was communicated in chat. Looks like castle droppers are setting up trade. And to be fair, like gold is, they're being denied off this gold. They're being denied off this gold. Being denied off this gold. They will be hurting for gold. These ones are very saturated. Paladin is in. Is a push happening here? There's a lot of hand cannons. Demo's finding some value. But War Elephant will actually do a decent job of tanking that. As this bombard cannon is actually blocking the ability to build this castle. Alright. Place it down here instead. In the north though, the push is still on. Alright, siege is being added now. I was gonna say that's what's been stalling them out at the moment, is that there's a lot of castles and not much siege to support. In the south, however, hand cannons are now being supplemented by halbs shortly, which is definitely the correct choice against skirms, cavalry, siege. And I think, look at the numbers now. Yeah, this definitely feels like Corner Checker's game. The Paladin are all over, not just Thorin's Eco, but all over Islar's Eco as well. Yeah, and there's a GG. Yeah, really, really good job by Corner Checkers here in game one. I think the defining moment was early here when Drewster was walling off this section. The scouts, even though the Vil took out Southpaw's scout, the follow up from Puddles with the scout to come in, keep that open, let Southpaw's archers come in, and then from there just snowballing that further and further. Because even once that first set of archers was cleaned up, the there was an advantage there, and then they came back again with knights and cav archers, and yeah, really well played. So game one goes to the Corner Checkers, and yeah, sick boom from Puddles here, and yeah, with a full boomed up Lithuanian eco, being able to spam Paladin with the full upgrades is going to be fantastic, and you see that reflected in the KD as well. I think there was a good approach from Castle Droppers as well. I like the idea of going elephants with Vietnamese. Uh, I think Juby kind of had to invest a lot to help Drewster, which put her behind and never let her get to that eco, and did also get hit by some of those raids. But yeah, very nice first game, which was on Erike. That goes in favor of Corner Checkers, which means game two will be the pick of Castle Droppers, and it looks like all right. It looks like they went Boulder Forest. Man, I thought we were finally gonna see a Megreb game. Still a chance. There's still a game three, right? And Megreb isn't banned, so there's a chance. But I think after game one, Corner Checkers may be deciding they favor themselves on a bit more of a closed map. And to be fair, we actually haven't seen Boulder Forest this entire tournament yet either, so I'm excited to see uh, how that goes. So we will go ahead and hop over there. Yeah, so Boulder Forest, real quick, because I haven't seen it, you can kind of see why it's called that. There's a lot of boulders and a lot of forest. Uh, it's an interesting map in that you have each player has their own kind of little semi-open pocket. There is a definitive kind of wall-off area between you and your enemy that you can kind of close off to protect yourself. However, as you can tell here, that's cracked terrain, which means your walls will be weaker unless you build them significantly further on the side. And judging from the fact that Drewster immediately places these walls here, I'm going to say this was played on Explored, so treating it like a Black Forest game. There is a difference though. There's, in addition to this, or different than Donut, in addition to this connector, there's paths to the center connecting all 8 players. So to truly wall yourself off, you also need a wall up here. And from what I've gathered from looking at this map, there's 2 ways to play it. You can play it like Black Forest essentially, which looks like they're doing, where they're playing unexplored. Everyone knows where the wall off positions are and is able to do so. What I favor though is playing this not unexplored, because then you have to. It can actually be tricky to figure out when you're scouting early, which of these forests and boulders are the ones to wall on. And if you keep this open, there's definitely a lot of potential for early pressure on this map. There's a lot of open areas. And there's also these little pockets of turtles, which provide a lot of food very quickly. And I think for almost every player, there's two or three that are close together, so you can easily drop a mill there and really accelerate your early feudal age, which is something that I tried to do while testing. Looks like Juby wanted to go here and kind of wall off the center, but the Vil got sniped by a Gilgalad, which is a really nice find. Walls coming down here for Thorn, and interestingly, he's put the walls a bit more forward, which means it'll be a bit more investment. At the same time, they're not on this cracked terrain, so we'll be a bit more stable. And yeah, we actually haven't talked about civs so we'll do that real quick. Thorin playing as the Italians. They're a fairly versatile civ. They have decent cavalry. They have good archers and arbs, and their Genoese crossbowmen are actually really nice to counter cavalry. Do lack a bit of range, so will get out traded by arbs or other ranged units, but really nice to have ranged units against cavalry. And given that you're playing against corner checkers, which have a fair amount of cav players, I think that's a solid pick. And do also have a bit of a cheaper, a bit of a discount for going up to the next age. In the pocket, Islar as a Celts, probably going to go Halb Siege. Celts is very much a Black Forest civ, and given that they're playing it like Black Forest, that makes a lot of sense. Also really nice smooth eco from them. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. As second pocket, Juby with the Saracens, which have a really wide tech tree. I think Camels is probably a really good option for some Saracens, although, as I say it, there's not actually a lot of cavalry civs for corner checkers, so maybe Juby will decide to do something else. Saracens do have incredibly strong arbs, and they have a lot of other options, including Mamelukes, which take a long time to get to, but are crazy powerful. As the other flank, we have Rooster as a Hindustanis. Another really strong camel civ with a good eco. I'm seeing a lot of anti-cavalry civs from castle droppers. I don't know if that's just if they're going for this 4 bonuses or as a counter to cavalry civs they see coming. But to their somewhat misfortune, I guess, there's no real cavalry civs from corner checkers. We have Southpaw with the Koreans, which do potentially get War Wagon, but you don't usually see cavalry from them. And more likely a tower approach if he's going to go aggressive early. In his pocket, we have Killical the Dravidians, which are more likely to go elephant or elephant archer than cavalry. In fact, I think Dravidians have one of the worst stables in the game. Hold on, yeah. So they get light cav. They don't get knights at all, I believe, and they do get battle elephant, but not upgraded. So it's pretty rough. Yeah. Much more likely to go potentially camel. I think they have. No, they don't have camel. Sorry. Elephant archer. They do have really good elephant archers, and also the Irumi swordsman with their charge attack can be very powerful. And actually have decent halbs as well with the wood steel that ignores enemy armor. As second pocket, Gilgalad, a Meso Civ, you love to see it. Also have incredibly powerful, not halbs, but the Kamyuk, which stacks and has extra range attack, which is so nice and makes it rough. Makes it a really solid counter to almost any unit, really, but especially powerful against cavalry. And additionally, a unique unit that the Incas have is a Slinger, which is specifically an anti-infantry ranged unit. And so that's a really nice addition if you're thinking your enemy's going to go, for example, halbs. Slingers will deal with that very nicely. If you don't want to go infantry, your other option, obviously you can always go into eagles, which are incredibly powerful. And Incan eagles featuring extra armor, pierce armor, which makes them very nice for raiding. And as final flank in the north, we have Puddles as the Armenians, already taking advantage, it looks like, of... No? I was gonna say of the mule cart, the mobility to take that hunt, but as I say that, he's actually taking the hunt and bringing it back to the mill. Still, mule cart is going to be nice for moving around and gathering these different resource spots, and additionally, his archers also composite bowmen ignore enemy armor. So yeah, but for the moment, definitely a boomy approach as we see walls being reinforced in various methods by the castle droppers. However, this section here for Thorin has not been walled off. It has been walled off by corner checkers, but effectively for castle droppers this is open, and at any point of the game, if corner checkers want to push, they can push through here. So bit of an oversight there for castle droppers. Juby Scout is on the way, so might find that shortly. And yeah, players are on the way up to Castle Age already. And yeah, looks like it's gonna be a slower start overall though. A lot of fast castles coming in, and not a lot of military being produced at them. In fact, no military being produced at the moment, which is very little. Although Juby Scout was weakened, and I think that's because she killed the scout from Gilgalad, and actually it looks like Puddles has also lost his scout. So nice fights there for castle droppers. Let's see if they do anything with that. And yeah, you can see Juby is pinging here, has noticed that there must be a hole here. Juby Scout was over here and got past, so there's a hole in this palisade. I'm gonna say it's probably on this side. There's a gap, but it looks like there's a gap. Mark that off the bingo sheets. And the majority of players are on the way up to Castle Age, except for Juby, who's just now up to Feudal. Might have had a bit of a rough start there somewhere. Is lagging behind in villagers, but well, to be fair, Juby invested a lot of resources into walling in the center. That's a lot of walking time and lost a vill here. So that might be why. Still not ideal for your pocket player, but we do have double stone walls from Juicier, although at the same time, Southpaw dropping a castle, which will chew through these stone walls, especially on the cracked terrain. I'd like to see, and this is a tiny detail, but at the latest, after seeing this castle, I'd like to see these stone walls move to here. First of all, so the castle can't just range them and take them down, and secondly, that takes the stone walls off of the cracked terrain and makes them stronger. Juby's scout working away at a house here, though. And looks like Drewster's going for a boomy approach. And the same for Gilgalad. Going to 3 TCs immediately. In the north, Lion has found some of Puddle villagers, and Lion will go down to these villagers. But yeah, in the south, the castle's completed, and the castle can just, like, for all these layers of walls, yeah, now, okay, there we go. Now these walls are coming down for Drewster. And at this point, I mean, this stone is kind of wasted, but I do like that he's going to go ahead and add these walls. It's going to be super helpful. He does still have about 4 tiles of wall on cracked terrain, which is not ideal, but at least you can see how quickly this castle is taking down these stone walls. And you don't want to lose all the value. Stone walls, more and more layers coming here for castle droppers, so really want to give themselves the opportunity to move up. Oh. Another lion. Looks like lions are still a problem in this map as well. Vil takes the high ground though. Knows that kicking a lion in the face is easier if the lion is at knee height than at face height. Alright, we have some pings coming down, and I think this is a really good find from Juby. If she can keep this open, that would be huge for castle droppers to have that information. It does look like there's a house foundation placed here, but that never got completed. And right now, this feels like the strategic critical point for both teams. Because corner checkers think that castle droppers aren't aware of this and haven't walled. Castle droppers know that this is open, not complete, and can push through it. Now here's a Vil to take out the scout, and we'll wall off here. And once this wall is complete, I think corner checkers will be fully walled with at least double palisade everywhere. But this house here is fairly weak, so that's definitely a choke point you can attack. Alright, Castle Age, I think with Juby reaching in 30 seconds, all players will be there. War Wagons being queued up by the Korean player. And question is, what do Hindustanis do here? I think camels will do okay. You could just go skirms or halbs, and just kind of throw trash at the Koreans. Potentially though, add some monks, try and convert some. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Hindustanis go monks. They do have a decent monk tech tree. They're missing heresy and atonement, but none of those are important unless your enemy is going monks. So that is an option. But the war wagons are here and take down one Vil. And we'll start working away on this stone wall. And we're gonna need to see a response. Look like Brewster's gonna go ahead and complete these stone walls. But other than that, doesn't have any military buildings yet, and that's gonna need to be a next step for him. And keep in mind that because Juby spent all the time walling early, she's a bit further behind as his pocket and can't necessarily come help him out immediately. So this is one that Drewster needs to do on his own. University coming down. Drewster. And there's barracks. So is prepping some military, but okay, Stonewall is at half HP, so I think this next layer will complete. And then we'll see. I do think that Southpaw should be attacking like this tile down here that's on cracked terrain rather than this, and he could be through already probably. But we'll see. And it is kind of hard to tell which of these tiles are on cracked terrain. I think if you're not like me who has time to do all this, if you need to manage an eco in the back, it's going to take longer. Castle's coming up from Drewster. Love that he's taking this little hill to put it on, and this castle will go up, and I think that should push back the war wagons for now. And actually, I haven't seen Gulam against war wagon either. I'm curious to see how that trade goes. But castle will complete shortly, and Southpaw will retreat these war wagons, which are actually having a bit of trouble with its choke point, but we'll get out. No fletching on this castle yet, so they can keep harassing safely from a distance. In the meantime, this gap is still here. Yeah. And more wagons continuously being added. Looks like that's the play for Southpaw as he goes for a second castle. Ooh, fortified wall from Drewster though. So and going for a double university play. Interesting. Is that? I wonder if that's intentional. Like, is he planning to research a lot of stuff, or is this just to close this gap, or did he forget that he rebuilt one? I don't know. Uh-oh. Looks like Islar had something doinked. Oh, his scout got doinked by this spearman, I guess. Nice little addition there from Puddles to snag that deny information. And Mangonel. So this Mangonel can start working away on these walls if he wants. Of course, Puddles will be able to wall behind, but it's definitely annoying. Infant barracks coming up, so yeah, Islar definitely going Halb Siege here. And the castle coming up from Puddles in response. And I think Composite Bowman should do okay against Halbs, not so much against Siege maybe. And yeah, wall's being forced out now. If Eisler's paying attention here, he can potentially micro forward his onager and get all. Ooh, look at all these villagers. Send the mangonels. Kill the villagers. Okay, Puddles is paying attention. Still loses 2 vills there. Nice find from Eisler. I think he lost another one there, if I heard that right. Yep, 3 eco deaths. And in the south, the war wagons have been stalled out. More stone walls being added by Drewster. Not gonna let these war wagons get through. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. 1 second, guys. My capture age just crashed. I don't know why. But, hold on. The age replay is still up, so we should be able to just bounce back to where we were. Okay. Let me just pause for half a second. Hey, your favorite game from the tourney? Fair enough. Not one of your favorite? I mean, well, you were doing okay, Southpaw. I think you just need to find a different angle of attack right now. This is Drewster's doing a fantastic job of just stalling out this push. And range is coming up. Hasn't queued up. Okay, Goulem's skirm. So is probably looking for a skirmisher defense. A second castle here from Juby to defend. And pressure being prepped in the north. Isar actually already up at an Imperial Age with Trebs, so this castle is under threat, and I think we're going to see a solid half siege push here soon. Still, neither team taking advantage of this open gap here. Either team could just run through here. There's no defenses here. There is a castle here. And a TC. But still. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking that you're about to do. Oof, not even going halbs, man. Going 200 swordsmen immediately. And Treb knocking down this. Yeah, Puddles is in trouble. Eagle Warriors coming in for Gilgalad, but infantry will also shred Eagle Warrior. So Gilgalad, he does have some Kamayuk. But I think he really needs to go slingers right now, especially if these. Yeah. Well, slingers will do fantastic against this. Yeah. Ooh, it looks like Southpaw's broken through in the south though. Has denied a castle. Ghoulam are here, and we'll see how they trade. The choke point definitely favors the war wagon, but it looks like the Ghoulam are doing solid amounts of damage to the war wagons. And you can see the pass-through damage actually kind of punching away at them as well. And Juby is going Mamelukes, and Mamelukes, especially in higher numbers, will do a lot of damage to war wagons. Looks like this castle's being forced down. Will it be denied? 2 villagers? 3 villagers? 92% denied. We have a doubt castle, ladies and gentlemen. Check that off the bingo sheet. But lots of other castles here, so I think ultimately this push is going to get stalled out, and you can see a lot of HP already lost from these war wagons. Meanwhile, in the north, the siege has knocked down the walls. Thorin has deleted the houses, all the houses actually. I think you could have kept those ones for space, but you know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the 200 swordsmen are just running rampant. Puddles does have a castle here to defend himself, however, Trebs are here, and Trebs will knock that down. And Puddles has not really a lot of army. We do have elite elephant archers coming in now, but there's camel here to counter them from Juby. Just a nice little prep there. And in the south, the push is dead. 4 castles and like, what, 3-4 layers of fortified wall now. And in the north, Genoese crossbows being added from Thorin. Lots of unique text that I see coming in. Andean Sling now. Andean Sling, perfect. That is what I want to see. Which removes the minimum range from slingers. Which I hope is what Gilgalad is going to start pecking into. He does send the Kamyuk forward, which have good potential here to do some damage. And I think we'll manage to, if they can even just snipe the siege, that would be huge. They will take out a Mangonel, they'll take out another Mangonel, they should take out this Treb pretty quickly. And if they can take out this Trebs, I think the castle still goes down. Unfortunate. Masonry just 7 seconds off. I think it's gonna be close if this other Treb goes down. Nope, stays alive. And in the south, Brewster has reached Imperial Age and has a lot of Trebs. Trebs from South Par here as well. But this castle, I don't think this was on cracked terrain, was it? Oh yeah, it was. It was. So this definitely making it easier. And just the line of castles moving forward. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, you probably just shift click and then deleted. Which is unfortunate. You do have a lot of wood late games, so it's not the end of the world to delete all those houses, but it is unfortunate. I do like that Kamyuk is a decent choice here, but I need to see that tech switch from Gilgalad, or the addition of slingers. Now the Kamyuk will rip through a lot of this. They're knocking down the Trebs, they're killing a lot of villagers, but still, Puddles is pretty dead at the moment. Heavy Camel now coming in as well in the south. Where are Puddles' villagers at? Okay, most of his eco is still back here. And this is one of the, this is one of the downsides to this map in particular, is there's not a lot of space to retreat to, right? You can, each player kind of fills out their own eco space, which is pretty rough. But yeah, big numbers of Genoese crossbowmen. Again, this is where Andean Sling or Skirmishers actually would do fantastic. Andean Sling, Slingers against these champions now. Puddles does have champions of his own. They don't have Ferreters yet, so I think this fight will go in favor of Islar, especially if he retreats under the castle. Although, as I say that, there's Kamyuk coming in as well, which will help. And yeah, with the Scorpions and the double castle fire, this is corner checkers may probably a pretty bad fight. I think they could have won this if they had taken it more defensively. As it is, Puddles does manage to save some of his champions and retreat. More Kamyuk on their way, but this army is continuing to push forward. Big fight in the center, though, where the Elephant Archers are pushing forward. However, they're going to run into Genoese crossbowmen, elite Genoese crossbowmen. And I think just off an HP difference, you can see 8,800 HP. The Elephant Archers will win this. But good damage. Actually, as I say that, though, if the Genoese focus on the non-archer elephants, the siege elephants, they're gonna have a really rough time doing any damage. Yeah, kind of focused on the wrong unit there. In the north, Cap Ram coming in. We haven't seen Rams since last game. But the military production is kind of fading a bit for corner checkers. Slingers are added now, which I really like. I think Slinger Kamyuk is a really good composition to deal with, well, to deal with a lot of armies actually. But we shall see. In the north, Puddles is placing another TC, and the Elephant Archers from Killikal are coming to help, which is good for the north, but bad for the south, where Drewster and Julie are now pushing forward with hordes of camels and Mamelukes, and I think Southpaw does have a decent defensive setup here, right? That's a whole lot of towers, plus castles, But still, there's Trebs here that will be able to knock this all down. And behind that, a lot of Southpaw's eco being idled at the moment. And the raids are coming in. And once this line of defensive buildings is gone, that's the majority of military production. I mean, there's ranges here for Killikyle, but there's no defensive buildings here. And this definitely looks like it's going in favor of Castle Droppers as they are pushing on both flanks. And Siege Elephant gets taken down, and now the Genoese are just farming on these Elephant Archers, and they're doing massive damage. Look at that. Look at that. Despite the HP advantage, these Genoese crossbowmen are just melting the Elephant Archers, and Scorpion's now here to support them. Alright. Raids are all over Southpaw's base, which, I mean, the last couple towers going down. He's at 80 villagers, but his military consists of this lonely scout. Possibly the last starting scout still alive. Dropping a defensive castle now, but there's military all over, and the trade is going to get hit as well that they were trying to set up. In the north, good stack of Trebs here from Gilgal, and might be able to snipe this castle. A lot of champions coming forward though. Big fight happening as Gilgalad tries to defend, and the problem is Puddles is kind of out for the moment, right? He's trying to reboom, but that means that Gilgalad is fighting 1v2. He's doing a good job of that. He knocks down a castle, packs up the Trebs, and moves away, which is a correct move. But there's just so much army here from Thorin and Islar, which is just knocking. Oh no, the Trebs are moving forward. You can't move those Trebs forward. You gotta keep those Trebs alive. Oh, that's so much. And the GG is called. Yeah, I think that is correct here, as Southpaw is just about dead in the south. That's a lot of Mamelukes. A whole lot of Mamelukes. Counterweights now coming in as well. You'll love to see it. And yeah, Killikyle throwing in his last ball of Elephant Archers, I suppose. But looks like game 2 goes in favor of the Castle Droppers, who came prepared. And I have to say, given that I was kind of doubting the Civs early because of their unit composition, they did a really good job, and actually ended up having advantages in a lot of these matchups. So very well done. Looks like Kyle went into a two-handed swordsman here as well. On a nice little corner here. And we'll snipe down a fair amount of military from Drewster. They're the Mamelukes. Oh, looks like a lot of those went down as well. But still, this is just the last hurrah, seeing what this army can do, I guess, before the game ends. And if Thorin comes here with his Genoese crossbowmen, this will be over. Another castle goes down. Trebs are working away. These are counterweight Trebs, so they'll fire faster and more accurately, I believe, is the effect that is. And waves of camel coming in, Mameluke numbers going back up, and we're down to 18 elephants. Champion numbers also slowly going down. And it appears that is the end. This was a champion-heavy game. Top unit produced for both sides, champion. Almost 500 champions total. Not what I would have predicted, but kind of interesting to see a game with not really much cav. Rare to see in a team game. Even on Black Forest, there's usually oh, increases damage output. Okay. Think it increases accurate output. I mean, it was a solid choice, right? In Champion v Champion, it wrecks the Eagles that kind of shuts down that option for Incas. I think if Puddles had had Ferreters ready or had had um whatchamacallit, uh composite bowmen in big numbers, they would have beaten the Celt champions. But just with that early push, shutting down his eco early, that kind of removed that option. Although I think if Gilgalad has gone Slingers immediately, that could have changed that. Hard to say. Hard to say. But yeah, that leaves us tied up at 1-1. And that means map, which was, hold on, Boulder Forest goes in the favor of the Castle Droppers. So there will be map 3. As mentioned previously, there were some more player substitutions here because some had to leave. So we will see each team draft a player from the Outpost Rushers and then keep going from there. Now, let me just make sure I'm on the right game because I believe Grand Barra is going to be the last game. And so Gilgalad will be replaced by Sir Wazal on uh, Team Corner Checkers, and Team Castle Droppers will replace Thorin with Fletcher. And about ready to get going here. Game 3 is on, and this is going to be the deciding match in the 1-1. In the evens, we have... I gotta adjust the colors, guys. I can't work like this. I think had Brewster was an orange, Islar was yellow, which is convenient because Fletcher in red is easy to remember. Southpaw, Kyle Puddles was okay. I think we'll leave this. Puddles was, yeah, we'll switch it. We'll switch it, even if Wazell in gray makes a lot of sense. For consistency's sake, to see who replaced who. All right, so Team Castle Droppers. We have Islar playing as the Magyars on flank, presumably looking for some early scout aggression then. And then later we might see Cav Archers or some form of cavalry from him. In the pocket, Juby as the Gajaras, so probably looking for a camel approach. And yeah, I think camel's the way to go here. We'll see how it goes. As a second pocket, Fletcher as the Armenians. We just saw those from Puddles. So as mentioned, Ferreters Champions is an option. Composite Crossbowmen, and I think Fletcher really liked Armenians on this map. I think almost every time he played this map, he was playing Armenians. And on the other flank, Drewster as the Persians. It's I'm a bit surprised to have Persians on flank, but I think we had this before, and I think it was also Drewster, and I think he was also on flank, and I think it worked. So, you know, fair enough. And even, like, it's not that Persians can't do flank, it's just because of their strong eco, they're very popular as pocket civ. However, they do have options for more aggressive approaches, and even there, the stronger eco is going to be helpful, right? So, not necessarily a bad choice, just a little bit surprising to me. Countering him, we have Southpaw playing as the Mongols. Not actually opting for the Celts here to chop through the woodlines, although I guess that was more of a desert slope strat. But yeah, probably cavalry, cav archers, Mangudai potentially, although there aren't huge amounts of stone on this map. There's a starting 4 tiles, and then there's another sets of 3 tiles, but that's it for stone. So, unique unit is a bit rough, especially with the cracked terrain in the center for anyone. Kili Kyle in his pocket as the Bengalis. I kind of expect elephant archers out of him again, especially that he did that last game, but Rathas might also be an option, depending on how the game goes. Puddles has the Hindustanis, so we actually have a switch up where I think we had him as Armenians and someone on Castle Droppers as Hindustani's last game. But yeah, probably going camels here as well. Although if Armenian champions start flooding in and he's helping with that, then Hindustani hand cannons are obviously a really strong option. And Wazel on the other flank as the Slavs, I very much expect to see Halb Siege out of him. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Wazel and Fletcher have been obviously the two players that were on Outpost Rushers, so curious to see how their understanding of the strats that we had for this map influences these other teams potentially. I think we only played Grambara once and lost to corner checkers. That does mean though that Fletcher can maybe provide some information to Team Castle Droppers of this is how corner checkers played it and this is how we can counter that. Spend the entire game fighting Wazel and Puddles? Well, they are on your flank, so that makes a lot of sense. But I suppose we'll see. Early walls from Southpaw. Fletcher didn't provide you any information? Wow. Bad teammate Fletcher. Although I guess to be fair, he didn't necessarily know. Oh, by the way, what were the banned civs for this set? I'm assuming Georgians and Bohemians were banned. And then Khmer is my next guess? If you guys remember that offhand. Khmer, ha! Called it! Boom. So good. Was there a fourth civ banned, or did two teams ban Bohemian? Because that would be my guess, is that Castle Droppers banned Bohemians Georgians, and that Corner Checkers banned Bohemians Khmer. Ooh, alright, defensive walls coming up from Drewster. Looks like Southpaw's trying to harass this and just generally being very much a nuisance. But the scout is coming in from Drewster, which will be able to push this away, especially now that this scout has taken some hits. And so Southpaw will be able to defend, or Drewster will be able to defend himself. And so Drewster again opting for a little bit more of the egg base, it looks like, which kind of protects you in your little pocket and is easier to defend. However, it doesn't protect your flank as much. Whereas Southpaw is going for these big walls, which will also protect your pocket. But we have seen other games where these big walls meant that the defense wasn't able to be there for the second layer in time, and an aggressive push was able to go through. However, it looks like Southpaw himself is ready to go aggressive as he sets up an archery range and queues up archers. And let's see, Drewster is not on the way yet to Feudal Age, although he will be short. No, I'm sorry, he already is in Feudal Age. I was gonna say I'm surprised with the Persians, but yeah. There you go. We have some fighting here. Looks like the combined scouts of Puddles and Wazel will take out Islar's scout, who is also prepping the walls here. And looks like it's going to be a stable from him as well. Castle Droppers do have the advantage here that they have like, this camel scout, which will trade fairly well against scouts starting in the Feudal Age, but only if it hits back. If it hits back, there we go. And actually, the two scouts might be able to take out the one camel scout, but it looks like they'll hang out and withdraw, and there are spears here from Islar as well. Yeah, see? Georgians and Bohemians, Bohemians and Khmer. Called it. You guys are so predictable. I mean, what? Over here, Southpaw's archers are trying to deny this archery range, which is, you know, just delaying it is already incredibly helpful. I think he lost one archer in here. I saw something blue that looked to be dying, but this archery range will get forced down by Drewster. I think that is a correct play. Good job from him keeping the Vil alive, but even so, you need this archery range up to go skirms and not let Southpaw snowball this. Also, nice play by Fletcher coming in, taking out the scout from Southpaw. Bringing in, I would not expect the Malay Bulgarians ban. That would surprise me. I'd be like, really? I don't think Malay were even played this tournament. Bulgarians were, once, by me. And I think that was the only time we saw them. Scouts moving out from Moselle. It's like you don't like the Bulgarian drush or something. Ooh, and the archers will take out Fletcher's scout. However, Skirm's now on the way for Drewster and will be able to push this back. And we heard a lion attacking up here, attacking the spears from Islar. Actually, that's unfortunate. They will be able to take him down, but that's annoying to lose some HP off of those spears for sure. Plus, you have scouts here that you want to actually be fighting at the moment. Yeah, and ooh, uh-oh, villager snipe gonna be found. Nice find there by Wazelle. Spears could engage here though, find some good hits on this scout, and these scouts are all weak now. On the other side, pressure is definitely in favor of corner checkers at the moment. Although there are 4 skirms here, no fletching on them yet. Padded arch armor is coming in. I do think for skirm versus archer, you want fletching over armor. I know the armor is incredibly important for the archers against the skirms. But missing that range in this fight is going to really hurt the skirms. However, they do take down the spear, and they will kind of push back the archers, find a couple snipes here and there, so good micro by Drewster. And good micro by Southpaw as well, kind of keeping them at bay, but still hovering around. And the scouts from Puddles have looped around and will find some damage on Fletcher here. I don't know if they kill any of Fletcher villagers. We'll force some idle time and the villagers will engage. So Puddles has to retreat. But looking slightly in favor of Team Corner Checkers right now with 4 villagers ahead and most already 1 player up to Castle Age. And it looks like Southpaw is through, Puddles is through. Yeah, most players are at this point through to the center. In fact, all players, I think. Ooh. Southpaw's archers move on to Fletcher now, who is once again being attacked, and will run away. Bill's coming up on the, or Walls, sorry. Walls coming up on the outside for Islar, Walls coming up on the outside for Wazelle. So we're going to have a bit of a defensive standoff, but this is very annoying. However, the Vills have kind of looped around while the spear distracts. The archers are coming back to look for it, but the Vills are leaving and we're able to mine in peace, I think. Nice little maneuver there. Not Killy Kyle? Oh, you're right. Where's his wood line? Oh, out here. Okay, fair enough. These trees do have extra wood, so that's feasible for an amount of time, at least. And a 3 TC boom coming in here for Drewster. I don't know if that's a great idea on a flank that's already being pressured, but we'll see how it goes. Scouts from Islar are in here. Looks like they found some value, although also lost one, and spears will push them away. But they will go ahead and move on to Puddles, who does have a fair amount of exposed eco that could be hit here. More TCs being dropped for Fletcher as well. Camel here now though, and the scouts will not engage, but the pathing gives the camel a lot of good hits. And if the scouts just keep pathing around that camel and giving it free hits, I don't know if this, oh okay, this will go down with those 2 other scouts coming in. But the camels are here from Puddles. So the scouts can't really engage here either. Fight in the middle. Skirms being hunted down by a lion. And does the skirm survive? Buddy skirm is trying to help. The lion is on 4 HP. The skirm is on 1 and the skirm survives. He has saved his friend. Alright, Fletcher going out. Gold. And oh no, I was gonna say corner checkers aren't on gold, but actually Puddles has moved out to the center as well. And stables being set up, so Castle Droppers setting up to control mid right now. Do have the walls up on this side with that one tile gap, which is about to be plugged. I would like to see some sort of defense here though, or at least an outpost for a warning, because right now Drewster is sort of safe, but also not walled off, and also there's nothing here for Fletcher to defend himself, and there is a sneak base. Sneaky, sneaky villager setting up an archery range, and that might really, really hurt Fletcher later on. Stone walls coming up for Islar. Camels waiting in the wings from Juvie as there is a night raid, so the camels are needed already. Roselle coming in with some pressure and finding some good damage on the wood line. Some of the knights distracting the camels. The knights will pull back. I think Roselle could loop these through and try and hit the gold or something. He has been in this area before, so he knows where some of those resources are. But we'll get another Veil kill, and then the camels, I think, will push us back. House added for the villager to live in his lives. Running, and hits. And the lion wants to join the fight. Man, they are so aggressive. These lions are so aggressive on this map. Alright, these knights will eventually get cleared up. In the meantime, we have some Cav Archer raids from Drewster. Finding some value. We'll snipe a villager or two. There are crossbows here from Southpaw, which I think will be able to defend this. But I think Drewster can just do what the other team is doing and loop around to hit Kyle, who is on a 4 TC boom, so definitely the sort of player you want to hit. Also with no military, although he does have 2 monks. Double monastery. That's interesting. Potentially just for the relics, I suppose. Which you should be able to get. There's not a lot of mid control going on, with the exception of some knights and camels here, and those are from Team Corner Checkers. And yeah, the crossbows are here. Kyle's being forced to idle, and that is definitely something that Castle Droppers want to be doing. More TCs being dropped, and oh, this TC is going to be super helpful for Fletcher in staying alive against this raid. There it is. And it's just 1 or 2 Cav Archers right now, but we'll see how that, keep an eye on how that develops as raids are in on Wazelle again. Loses another villager or a few. And the Cav Archers are still being annoying here. And I think the focus here for Drewster needs to be keep the Cav Archers alive, right? Even if you just run forward, idle off for a bit, and then disappear again, that's fine. You're wasting time for Killy Kyle. But might actually find some damage as well. However, camels are here now from puddles, so he's gonna have to retreat those for the moment. And are the camels faster? Cav Archer has a speed of 1.4. Camels have 1. Yeah, so these camels are faster than the Cav Archers. Is husbandry's not in for Drewster, and I believe it must be in for yeah, it looks like it's in. So yeah, camels will catch these Cav Archers and kill them. More Cav Archers stable being queued up here now as well. And yeah, Kyle has weathered the storm. He's on a really nice boom at the moment, dropping a castle now here to A, defend himself, and B, probably going to look at going to Imp soon. Mid control here is being slowly taken, and kind of a wall off here as well to help protect the eco. But this side is still open. Castle from Fletcher, and I hear a monk. Where do I hear a monk? Where do I hear a monk? Not this one. I heard a monk healing, but there's no monks on the field. Ah, there is. It's a warrior priest. Warrior priest from Fletcher. And ooh. Southpaw's crossbows are here, and they are gonna take down this mining camp very, 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 very slowly. camel versus camel standoff. I think Juby could take this fight right now. Definitely he has the upgrades advantage and the numbers advantage and the HP advantage. But chooses to stand off for now, and more cap archers from South Part here now. And let's see how much value they find. Haven't managed to snipe the Ville yet, and we have full infantry, so definitely seeing champions here from Fletcher soon, as all the upgrades are rolling in and all the barracks being dropped. But good info, Southpaw has found that. Composite bowman out, probably against these cow archers. Don't know how that'll do. Well, it got one shot, so that's not a good start. On the other side, though, Killycow's boom is also slowly completing. Elite Elephant Archer is on the way. He's not... No, he is up to Imp. He's actually already an Imp. And more raids here. It looks like there's a big engagement here. Knights from Izar trying to defend against Knights and Camels from Moselle and Puddle. Juby has a couple camels here to help, but this is definitely a fight that favors corner checkers right now. Although, to be fair, TC Fire will help castle droppers. And actually, this is going to be surprisingly close. TC Fire helping out a lot. Most of the camels have been cleared up. And half the knights are tasking away, which means they will find potentially damage on the eco. Not the greatest engagement for either side, I have to say. It did cost corner checkers a lot more than they wanted in military units. On the other hand, a bunch of these knights got through and can raid, although these two spears that have been patrolling back here since early feudal age are tagging this, and looks like Izar will come back and clear this up. But Izar needs to either wall this off or find some other defense. Castles being dropped, town centers being dropped, a lot of booming going on. Crossbows have realized this takes too long and will start attacking the TC now instead. And I think Wazel's knights should be cleared up here. Maybe not. He's still running them just to be annoying. And these are some aggressive ranges from Killycyle, but I mean, if he can place them and the lion doesn't kill the villager, he does have 9 elite elephant archers already with full upgrades, I believe. Siege elephant on the way from him as well. Well, armored elephant for now, actually. And Mangadai being queued up for Southpaw. In this matchup, Killycyle went elephant archers twice out of 3 games. Which, to be fair, I think there's only about 2 or 3 civs that have elephant archers, right? You have Dravidians, you have Bengalis, and that's about it. I don't think he ever went elephant archers against us, but I think he was also on flank against us. But yeah, Cavalier are gonna have a really rough time against these elephant archers. There's champion is about to be in. Second armor just now coming in. I don't believe Ferreters is in yet. Oh no, it is. All right, so these are some tanky champions. Still not as tanky as the elephant archers though, although finding some Mangadai kills is always nice because champions are much easier to replace than Mangadai, and yeah, Southpaw does catch that and start microing back. Pressure on this side as well though. Camels from Puddles pushing forward. Juby trying to defend for now. Does have all these camels. I don't know why those aren't engaging. But a bit of a big cavalry standoff. Well, I don't actually know if I favor Hindustani or Gajara camels. You have Frontier Guards for Dravidian. You have Chattagni, which I think reduces the food cost for Hindustanis. So in a straight up fight, the Gajara camels should win, but they're not as cheap. And I like the addition of Wazel of a monk to heal them up. Yeah, if I think it's one of those in a straight up just military matchup, the Gujar camels win, but economically the Hindustani camels are cheaper, so the amount of uh milit damage output you get for the amount of resources invested, I'm not actually sure which is a better unit. However, heavy camel is just now coming in for puddles, which Dewey does not yet have. And meanwhile, the raids from Southpaw have arrived, and oh man, he went Step Lancer. Oh, this is devastating. Blinking TCs everywhere, and the push from Kyle is on. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of elite elephant archers, and yeah, the champions can't. I mean, they can fight this, but they probably can't win. It's just so much HP, 10,000 HP on these elephant archers. Savar is on the way from Drewster, and to be fair, the Persians do get bonus damage against archer units, which should include the elephant archers, but even so, they're just so tanky. I think Halb is gonna do better here if you can get it. Next wave of Step Lancers going in. I think this castle will go up though, and with that, Fletcher's eco is semi-protected at least. But this base in the back, I said it was gonna cause trouble, and it is. Still a big standoff in the middle. Army numbers massively in favor of corner checkers, though, almost twice the army. And this ball of elephant archers, how do you stop that, right? You have even Mangadai to back it up. Siege elephant moving forward. Imperial camel rider coming in now for the Hindustanis as well, which will make this fight even harder. And okay, look. If Step Lancers get an extra tile of range, that should mean that if they attack from that extra tile of range, that the castle can hit them even without murder holds. This seems like cheating. Yeah, I mean this castle will still tank that for a while, but I mean, all right, skirms being added from Drewster now. I think skirms they're at least a more cost-effective option than Savar, although if the Elephant Archers don't attack the Savar, it will be able to chunk down these Elf. But look, it's taking so much time. Look at how long it's taking to kill a single one of these. To be fair, it's just one Savar, but still. Nice little raid from Juby, though. Gonna find some damage onto Azel. And will help to counter this. Knights here from Azel are in sufficient numbers that they'll be able to clear this up. But Halb now being added by Kyle, or being teched into, I should say, as well as Islar. For Islar, that's definitely the correct play, although as I say that, hand cannons are already on the field for puddles, so they're prepared for that. Siege is here as well. The push is on. And this sneak base is still here, and Southpaw is adding Siege Ram. For the umpteenth time this tournament, we see Siege Ram. Alright. Fletcher is sending some champions this way, though, which is great. If they can clear up all of this, that's definitely going to help. If he can focus forward and keep his eco alive. However, this push here, the castle goes down to the Trebs. There's not much military that can engage this. The composition just isn't there, right? Camel hand cannon will wreck Knight Halb easily. And with a Knight bunk healing behind, the camels have been diverted to take out these elephant archers. And to be fair, elephant archer numbers are kind of dropping. Skirms are definitely helping, as are the camels. Military count looking slightly better for castle droppers now than it was earlier, and Scorpion's out now. Champions will take out these siege elephants. Another raid is in here, but there's a couple castles which will help defend, and these champions are just ripping through these siege workshops, which is great. Wave of Savar also being sent to deal with these hussars, so castle droppers are doing the right moves to stabilize, but there's a lot of fires to put out. The map is blinking everywhere. There's a push happening over here, there's a big push happening over here, and so many production buildings, and there's hussar just all over Fletcher's eco at the moment. And alright, but however, I do believe the champions will be able to clear up just about all of this. Villagers will even take out these rams. So that push at least gets stalled out, but that's one of 3 pushes to deal with. And we are up to 28 elephant archers still. Do have skirms here from Juby as well now, and that might be speaking to the gold situation of Castle Droppers. As you can see, Islar just about out of gold, Drewster, Juby doesn't have a whole lot left. Fletcher has 6,000 left. But I think is oh no, did Capture Age crash again? Why? Alright. After this match, guys, remind me to restart Capture Age. I don't know what's causing it to crash constantly. I wonder, was there an update to Age? Because this might be if games that were not previously compatible. Okay, let's catch up real quick. An amphibious middle area with marsh in the middle. I mean, it's already going to be incentivized for some players just because you can fish boom, right? But I think keeping gold there is definitely still an option. And yeah, Puddle's hand cannons are pushing forward, and Castle Droppers will need to find an answer to these hand cannons, because not only do they counter the Halibs, they will also deal with the champions from Fletcher if it comes to that. And the ball of Mangudai is growing. Up to 30 Mangudai now, and the eco is 150 mils diff. Now that is with a lot of raids that came in, and Fletcher is clearing this up. At the same time though, Puddles is now pushing into Islar's base, and I think Juby is going to be under threat as well, as the colors have been reset. I was super confused for a moment. Purple. Hello. Fletcher is red. Puddles is gray. There we go. Alright. Sorry. So yeah, Wazelle is pushing into Islar's base, and Southpaw's Mangudai are starting to push into Drewster's base, and I think this this match is drawing to a close. Castle Dropper's doing an admirable job trying to stabilize, but this massive elephant archers specifically has tasked so much damage, and on the other side, really nice job from Wazelle and Puddles of finding a composition that wins against what their enemy has. Champions will take out these siege elephants. There are an amount of scorpions here which will definitely chunk down the siege elephant. The elephant archers, you can see the health is dropping pretty quickly. Lots of damage being done, and more camels on the way as well. But Eco's being raided everywhere, everywhere. There are blinking lights all over Islar. We're down to 200 versus 500 Eco and 85 to 250 military. And Kilikau's production is up. He's lost elephants, but he's back up to 40 already. And this ball of Mangudai keeps growing. We're up to 40 Mangudai now as well. The Hussar will take out the siege. And yeah, couple really nice plays from Southpaw as well. This little sneak base up here found a lot of damage and forced Fletcher back home to focus on that for quite some time. As oh no, the sneak back base gets found by a random scout, from Puddles. And yeah, Boyar being added now from Wazelle. And a flood of Hussar to support the Mangudai and raid. Siege Ram has been teched into and is on the way, and this we're drawn to a close here as we're down to, yeah, there's a GG. I was gonna say we're about to hit 200 pop for Team Castle Droppers, and so Corner Checkers take game 2. Very well played. Definitely feels like this is a map that Corner Checkers had a really good grip on, and a strat that worked fairly consistently. Infinite. No buildings lost for Wazelle or killing. And yeah, you can see the eco for Killical went nearly untouched, and he had a fantastic boom there. Some trade actually set up by Wazal. Fletcher did grab some relics, which was, if you think about it, he had 6,000 gold left when the rest of his team was out, and half of that is just from the relics. So really nice play there. And yeah, that is game number 3. And with that, this matchup goes in favor of the corner checkers, who take it 2-1, and with that secure themselves, I believe, third place in the Imperial bracket. All right, that concludes set number 1. I am gonna go ahead and throw in a bit of a break, and I believe Thalion will be here to co-cast the second set shortly. So we'll go to break and be back in 10 to 15 minutes. Might be a bit more to give Thalion some time to set up. But yeah, we'll have uh, Outpost Rushers versus Fast Castle Boomers. And that will be our last set for the night. As we're going into break, do remember that if you have not filled out the feedback form yet, !feedback, be sure to do that. 10 minutes is a good time frame to do that. Uh, and otherwise, enjoy the music, have a chill time, and we will be back shortly. Trade All right, we are at about a 20-minute break by now, so my co-caster still hasn't made it. Hopefully she'll show up soonish, but we are gonna go ahead and get started. Unfortunately, my ability to wait is a bit limited tonight. But yeah, I'm sure she'll be here as soon as she can, and then we'll have her hop in. In the meantime, prepare yourselves. We are going to get started on the final set of Imperial Bracket games featuring the Outpost Rushers and against the Fast Castle Boomers, playing for the glory of first place in their bracket. Both teams so far uh, have had a single map taken them off them only. Um, Both teams are looking to get that first place now, and this head-to-head matchup will decide who takes it. Um, we do have Civ bans available, so I can tell you that the Outpost Rushers banned the Slavs and the Bohemians, whereas the Fast Castle Boomers banned the Georgians and I believe also the Bohemians. So double ban of Bohemians, and we will also have a map draft, which I will go over to right now. Oh, whoops, should do that as well, so that you can actually see what you're supposed to see. All right, so Donut will be the deciding map on which we already had one game that was incredibly close. That Outpost Rushers barely ended up winning by virtue of resignation against the Castle Droppers. That's who we were playing against. Home maps: Desert Slope and Boulder Forest for Outpost Rushers. We've seen them on Desert Slope, not yet on Boulder Forest. And Hill Forts and Akare for Fast Castle Boomers. Both maps that we've seen um, played quite a bit this tournament, and that are obviously also comfort maps for this team. Right. Game one is going to be on Donut, and without further ado, let the grand showdown begin. Here we are on Donut. In the fourth side, we have the Outpost Rushers. Wazell on flank as Sicilians, probably looking for some dungeon forward approach aggressively, and in his pocket, as usual, as Fletcher with the Huns. I believe we saw Huns out of him last time as well. Went for a nice solid boom and then into cavalry, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that again today. Uh, in the on the other flank, oh, and we have a bot to ban. Let's do that real quick before we ban. Laughable taper. It's not a stream if there isn't a bot. I know. On the other flank, we have Ender going for the Aztecs this time instead of the Slavs, which are banned, as you'll remember. And in his pocket, as per usual, as we had a brief pause with lag. See, even the game was annoyed that I stopped there. Paxler as the Lithuanians, and we'll see if he can pull off his boom this time. We've seen him boom, and we know Lithuanians have access to relics on this map. Last time, this side of the team got shut down pretty hard, so we'll see how it goes this time. Opposing them, we have Jaeger as the Portuguese, potentially taking advantage of that early bonus where the berries also give wood, and likely going to go into archery units as he pulls in his first elephant. In his pocket, Dark Zane, also as the Lithuanian, so we actually have a mirror matchup on this flank. See who wins out on that. And in the other pocket, we have Trenik as the Hindustanis. As we've discussed multiple times this tournament, a fantastic booming civ, great eco, fantastic camels, fantastic hand cannons. Curious to see what Trenik goes for here. And on his flank, facing Sir Wazal, Nathan, the Snowman Lord, playing as the Ethiopian. So likely also looking at going crossbow and siege. So it looks like two archery flanks from Um, Past Castle Boomers, while Outpost Rushers have more infantry-based civs. Although Aztecs do have a decent archery line, so that is a possibility. Um, and yeah, bit of a calm to start. Um, and some very thin woodlands, as you'll see. There, I think this was mentioned by Alpha Grip lastly. There are parts between these woodlines where they're so thin, there's gaps. You can see there's gaps all over this woodline. On the other side, well, a giant gap here actually. So we'll see whether players choose to wall that off or how that gets handled. Now, elephant being brought in here as well. And we'll start our way gathering food to get to the feudal age. With the current lead, well, I guess it's about even. Outpost rushers do have a 3 vil advantage, right? And I'm not sure why that is. Is that idle TC time? We do have an amount of idle TC time. But some here as well for Ender. So not a big difference overall. Might be a loom difference, I suppose. Although we do have loom coming in for Fletcher already as well, as he opts for an 18 pop, or sorry, a 19 pop feudal age. Looks like the same for training. Well, 20 pop feudal age actually. The other side, Ender's scouting the sides, and lumber camps being set up in various places. Scouts are looking for healthy. Ender's scout took some hits here, and it looks like Wazelle actually lost his scout. Not sure to what, but I assume it was a TC, unless, let's see. This scout is just hanging out. Scout is just hanging out. This scout is just hanging out. And Snowy has also lost his. So potentially a 1-for-1 trade here, which, you know, fair enough. More players on the way up to feudal now. 3 players on this side. Still just Fletcher for the outpost rushers. So potentially more of a fast castle approach coming from the outpost rushers as opposed to the fast castle boomers. But should be there shortly. Ender at 500. Pack Slayer about to break 500. So I'm sure we'll see that shortly. Wazelle lagging behind is on 21 villagers. And is on stone early. So going for a bit of an adapted build here. And actually, Fletcher even using his scout to push in deer for him to help him with that. And actually, there you go. Food is coming in, so it was just the hunt that took so long. And it looks like Ender is queuing up a drush. We've seen one drush before on, whatchamacallit. Hey! Fantastic. We are in on Donut. Outpost rushers versus fast castle boomers. I'm at about minute 10 now. But just a bit of a standoff. Paxlayer's scout is here, sorry. Jaeger, I believe, has scouted this though, so they know something is coming. No barracks in response yet, though. So maybe not. Hold on. No, they've seen this. Alright. And the drush is coming. Will engage against the scout from Dark Zane. Take that out. Jaeger will choose to disengage. Ender's Eagle catching up now as well. And see, there is a wood line here that's being walled off now. Definitely forcing some reactions out of Jaeger, but not finding too much damage at the moment. As a militia will choose to just kind of hang out. 1220. Let me pause real quick. 1226. Uh, 1 second. elf as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-casters here, 1239, and we are on our way. Yeah, so right now, Drush coming in from Ender with support from Packslayer's Scout. On this side, in the north, actually, also a push. We have Scout versus Scout engagement of Fletcher's Scout versus Trenix. However, Spears here from Soma, so that'll get pushed back. In the south, though, looks like an archer has been forced out, which might get taken down. Lots of villagers being pulled to fight this Drush. One mill goes down. 2 villagers go down.
Ah, the little clubmen.
The little clubmen. The 2 scouts here as well. And
chase them down.
yeah, Ender's scout Eagle does go down with the Drush. Packslayer retreats, and Darkzane is here with reinforcements. However,
those villagers we're not going to be taken down. They're like, we're going to fight back.
Yeah.
We can do this.
However, Jaeger is kind of in a bit of a rough spot now, though. He's had walls forced out. He did lose 2 villagers on the berries, and he did clear that up, but that sets him back a bit. And we can see more eagles being queued up from Ender and a spear here to help defend. However, the scouts from Darkzane, if you wanted, could just run through the south. In the north, though, Fletcher's scouts defending against Spear's scout archer conglomeration from Snowman Lord and Trennick.
Yeah. Off to a early fight start here. No waiting around this game.
Yeah, definitely aggressive. I think both teams have realized this is actually very much a very open map, very close. I like these walls from Wazelle protecting his woodline, but giving him an avenue to escape to his TC. He does also have a donjon.
Smart.
He has a donjon covering this gap, but as mentioned before, there's holes in this woodline, so these scouts can actually just run through without needing to go past that.
They're like, meh, cares.
Yeah. A second dungeon coming up, though. In the south, though, Jaeger and Darkzane are pushing forward, seeing if they can find some damage onto Ender.
I like how you're building your little houses and barracks to kind of like corral and direct the attacks coming in.
Yeah.
So everyone has to go this way. Like,
it is unfortunately, we're missing the wall from like the house to the mill. That would really secure that north as it. Archers are there now. The Eagles will find some damage, and in between that, Ender is continuing to distract, and in the back, TCs 2, 3, and 4 are coming up for Packslayer. He's going for the boom.
Looks like Trenig is slipping through the trees up in the north.
Although Wazelle has found the gap, and is building a house there to close that off, so really forcing the military towards his donjons now. Currently being denied off the second one. And, ooh.
Let's see, we've got Teal Scouts still running around in Ender's base.
Yep.
Just hunters, just like hunting. Anything, anyone,
as the
at
name
all?
suggests. But, alright, looks like they are thinking about moving forward to hit Packslayer, but will task back. Ender towering his woodline in the south.
Packslayer's running around on 4 TCs back here.
The boom is coming in.
Just one.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, y'all fight. I'm gonna just
Ender's
get all this going.
gold gets hit though, and he loses 2 more villagers there. However, this tower is here, and Darkzane and Jaeger decide to dive on this to get the remaining woodline villages as well. I don't love this decision. This tower is fully garrisoned. Those archers will go down, and the villagers are engaging against the scouts, and all this forward pressure is actually going to get cleared up in just a second. The remaining 2 archers are under the tower, but they have like 1 HP each.
Trennig tries to go back through the trees, only to find the house is in the way.
Yeah.
But, oh, look, they rerouted. There's still another hole.
There's another hole, and another wall comes
hole.
up. There's always another hole. These woodlines are as messy as like Cape of the Kraken, it feels like. And so they'll work away, and oh, there's a hole around this lumber camp, so the scout can actually come through and harass. Oh, that's so obnoxious.
No!
Alright, Wazelle will wall that off, though. In the south, Ender continues his little L wall.
Curve it around. Come on.
And a bit of a lull. We have more scouts being queued up. We have more spears being set up in eagles. And in the north, the scouts and archers are still here and still being annoying. Fletcher is here with
Very
cav
annoying.
archers now, though, as well, which will help clear this up. But this wood line from Wazal is being idled for, and he's completely off of wood, which is not ideal.
Ooh, no, that is not. I might have to go to the other side. Oh, look, there they go. Other side. Let's go find some
Yep.
trees.
However, in the meantime, he has 4 villagers idled out front from what was supposed to be his dungeon push. He does have stone, so he could continue this, but busy microing in the back, I guess.
Like either I keep the villagers working and everyone else dies, or we stop for the moment and
Look at all
actually
these.
maybe salvage this.
Look at all these houses in the wood line. Hey, Maz, how's it going? We are in the final set for first place of the Imperial bracket. Look at all these houses in the wood line where Wazel is trying to find and plug these holes. It's
They're a
so
house, they're a
obnoxious.
house, everywhere a
And there's
house.
still that huge gap in the north that they could run through. But it looks like the cav archers from Fletcher have finally cleared up all this pressure. They have found all the holes in the south. So maybe Wazel can stabilize here.
Yep, he's moving those 4. They're back at it.
And in the meantime,
Archers are coming. Never mind. Let's see what's
yep.
next.
And we have the next dungeon coming up as Wazel prepares to continue his push.
TC's popping up everywhere else now.
Yep.
Except for
Pockets all
Okay.
going to multiple. All the flanks on single TCs though. Definitely a military heavy game here. Castle is on the way for Snowy as well as for Ender, which I believe will be. No, Wazel is also still in feudal age. Yeah, so he's been hitting by these double rates hard. However, at the same time, he is still continuing his dungeon push, and with the cav archers from Fletcher, this is going to be nasty. Although the archers and camels are here.
And the little, oh sheesh, what do they call it? The donjon guys.
The sergeants.
Yes, them.
Sergeants. Yep.
I love how they can like come out and then they can start building and then they've got their shields
Yes.
on their back and they're like these little beetle guys to me when they're building.
Yeah, and I think, Wazel's going to want to start adding these because his villagers are slowly but consistently being sniped down by these archers. Snowy's been doing a really good job in these fights by trying to focus on the villagers to really stall out this
Smart
push.
move.
Because obviously the cav archers on themselves can't push, although they can still harass. Snowy is about to reach Castle Age though. And we have a big push in the south. Crossbows and knights now on Ender. Who is going for his second TC, should rush. That should come in just in time for his villagers on the wood line to not die to this cavalry raid.
You've got some eagles in your barracks, so you're not completely defenseless, but
Right. And Castle Age on the way for Wazalna as well.
Tower.
But Hackslayer is on the way to the Imp. The cavalry upgrades are coming in. The cavalry ball will be on its way soon. As he tries to sneak a monk here to grab Ender's relic from right under the noses of this cavalry, but they will find and get him.
he's like, oh,
Yeah,
rats,
nice-
I wanted that.
Nice find from Darkzane there, and Ender is forced off of stone as the crossbows take out all those villagers.
Ooh, that's painful.
Yeah.
That's just painful to watch, just seeing them. They're running, and
Yeah,
they
Ender
fall.
definitely having a tough game at the moment, but at the same time, Packslayer's eco completely untouched this entire time. And so
and
Ender will continue to distract, and I think the Eagles might collapse on these crossbows up here.
And we've seen, if you leave Packslayer untouched and let him boom,
That's right, it's extremely dangerous. In the north now, we have Camel Crossbow trying to push back these Cav Archers, but the problem is the Sergeants are here, and there's no siege from Fast Castle Boomers to deal with these donjons.
and playing it smart, keeping those archers, the cavalry archers, underneath the donjons for the most part.
Yeah.
And then just back up whenever it's get too snug, and like, nope, I'm safe here. Good luck getting at me.
Yeah. Eagles will start attacking the crossbows in the south and clear some of them up. Siege Workshop coming down for Ender, as actually in the north also Wazel is the one with a Siege Workshop, so we'll start working on these buildings. And I think that's what what Fast Castle Boomers are missing right now for their push and for their defense is siege.
Trinix got his camel riders, but don't want to chase under the donjons. They got to take those donjons out if they're gonna
Yep, yep,
resist.
exactly.
Really.
And we have a ram out from Oiselle.
The Rams! The Rams!
Third TC from Ender, trying to force this down before the Knights arrive. This is going to be close. There's Cavalier from Packslayer that can maybe help, but ooh, villagers go down.
Get
Nope.
over there.
Villagers start to run. Cavalier here from Packslayer.
Run, run.
Villagers can keep
Run
building.
behind the Knights.
This is a big ball of crossbows, and actually the Siege Workshop from Ender was denied for the moment.
It is
but
frozen.
Your game?
So,
All right.
we've got. Oh wait. Looks like Oiselle is trying to drop a castle in the middle of Nathan's base there.
Yep.
Wow. Forget the donjon, he says.
Well, he's got
We're
the
going for
stone,
big
right?
guns.
And he has his donjon protecting his villagers. Castle being dropped protectively in the south as well. As the first wave of Cavalier gets cleared up eventually by these southern armies, but they will take out most of the knights, leaving just the crossbows, and there is a siege workshop here from Ender now.
And I'm betting he's planning on those mangonels or scorpions.
Yep. And Paladin is just 1 minute out for Packslayer.
So he's gonna have fun with that, and his enemies are not going to have fun with that.
And actually, this entire crossbow ball, ooh, nice little corner there that these crossbows found to hang out. As long as no siege hits that. If siege hits that, they're all dead.
Oh, they're just like sitting there shooting over the trees.
Yeah, but for fighting the cavalry, it's definitely nice.
Smart move. We've got a ram just rolling around, knocking down buildings in the north.
Yeah, and the cav archers in, and there's still not much response. They need the siege. Still no siege here for
no siege, and all those camel riders. Not much.
Yep.
Oh, another donjon
And
on
guess
its way.
what? Paladin is in, and 21 Paladin on the field already for Packslayer. The boom is complete. Let the wave begin.
Swoosh.
Hey Kaviana, how's it going? The camels
Hello
will
there.
try to engage against the cav archers, get some good hits in, but Fletcher doing a good job of microing those away to try and conserve.
Pulling it back.
Krennic's still finding some damage though. That's an amount of health lost. But still no siege. Still no siege, and the crossbows from Snowy just kind of stalled out for the moment. Defensive castle coming up though to try and
Another
stop
barracks.
these.
It's dropping a barracks now instead of a donjon.
Ooh, so potentially looking at adding military. This castle is ranging Snowy's... not his only TC, he has another one. And another castle being dropped here by Trennick. So trying to defend here with a line of castles, which will stall out this push. There is only one ram, and the castles can take care of that. So kind of looking to stabilize and then to push back. In the south though, the Paladin have moved out and will clear up pretty much the entire army.
And, oh, look, called it. Here's the mangonels.
Mangonels from Ender now working away on the TC as well. We'll actually hit some of some of Packslayer's Paladin.
Watch out for your guys, man.
Doing more damage to the Paladin than the crossbows did, I think. But one TC down and another one soon to follow, as these Paladin have almost full... No, these Paladin have full upgrades and +4 bonus from the Lithuanians. So this is... These Paladin have what? 5 attack. No, that's armor. 20
and
attack.
There's 37 of them.
There's 37.
Good luck.
There's 53 on the field. There's 8 more in queue. And they have basically cleaned out Jaeger's base and are on the way to Dark Zane now as well.
One batch heading up into Jaeger's wood line and chasing his villagers down, and the other batch is moving into...
Yeah. And, yeah. 52
down
villagers for Dark Zane. The camels are coming from Trennick to try and defend, but that means there's not much in the north. Although, to be fair, these castles have stalled out the push, and there are treads.
Yep.
However, the GG is called. Yeah.
team down, and it's just rough.
Yeah, I mean, to
You
be
hit that
fair,
position.
yeah, Jaeger is down to 17 villagers, and even if these camels beat the paladin, it's 50 camel, 3 Caligan against 58 paladin with more in the queue, and the paladin will do a lot of eco damage. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, Pack Slayer once again booming up to Imp untouched, and then just coming in with a huge wave of paladin and just clearing. I mean, you can look at this. This whole base is basically cleared. This one is on the
That was
way.
fast.
Yeah,
That was fast.
yeah, a quick game for sure. Mm. And
Yeah.
with that, Outpost Rushers do take the neutral map, 1-0 up.
Yeah, and with two guys still in castle, never even bothered to make it all the way up to Imp. Both Ender
Oh.
and Sir Wazzle never made it up.
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, only 3 players in total reaching Imperial Age
Oh yeah,
this
and
game.
three of the others. So yeah. So this
Uh,
was a fast one.
yep, a very quick,
Super
very
fast.
aggressive game. Lots of feudal pressure on both flanks from each team, and went in the favor of Outpost Rushers because only 3 players were involved, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and that means we will go to game 2, which will be on what at this point I almost consider to be actually let me verify this before I say what I was gonna say what I consider to be the home map of the tournament, which is Hun Erike, but as I say that, I think it's actually Hillfort that this map is gonna be second map. So uh, scratch that, guys. I didn't say anything. um,
I
we're
want to say that those two have been like the most that I've seen.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know Hanakre and Hillfort definitely in the castle bracket appeared a lot.
Yes, Imperial as well. Those have definitely been the 2 most played maps, um, which is cool to see, especially for Hun Akre. I mentioned at the beginning of the first set that like even with the struggles that were there for scripting, it was definitely paid off putting all the effort into that because people really enjoyed playing that. Um, but yeah, I have game 2 pulled up, so let me know when you're ready.
Um, Making sure I've got the right one. Oh wait, I don't need the tutorial again. I am at
No,
second six.
I was gonna say if you have a tutorial, I don't remember that being in the game. So
No, no.
not in that match at least. All right, well then let's start in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Let's see. What have we got going on here? In the north, we have Nathan as the Chinese with their extra. Don't they start extra villager start? That's what they've got. So
Yes.
get a
Start with
get going.
5 villagers instead of 3, but I think no food or
So you
even
have to
negative
jump on
food.
that food
Yes,
fast.
and you need to
So
queue up Loom first because you're gonna have idle time in your TC because you have no food. They do have the advantage. The TC gives 15 population space, so as you can see, Snowy hasn't had to build any houses initially, the
which
way other
is
players have.
convenient.
Yeah, I think you do get a little bit less wood to start to compensate for that, but it's still, time that you don't have to spend on.
Yep. And then Jaeger as the Persians, which they've shown up before. I know they've got their elephants and stuff that can be quite scary and solid siege crew. And once it gets going,
Yep. Do you,
Hunter as the Tatters. Oh, sorry. Go
do,
ahead.
do you think Jaeger is going elephants, or do you think he's going Savar, or do you think he's going both?
Ooh, I think he's gonna want to go elephants, but I don't know
Okay, fair
because
enough.
it will depend on how the game goes. Like
It does depend heavily
historically
on the eco,
speaking,
but
it's
yeah.
I want to start this way, but then if it looks like we need to get something a little faster,
Hmm.
might switch.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
And then Hunter is the Tatters, which we have seen on Hillfort multiple times.
Yeah.
Um, I think also they've got a bonus from the hill attack stuff, and you are on a hill to start with.
Yeah, that and there's a lot of hills on the map in general. A lot of
It
elevation.
can be great if you plunk a castle on there and take that advantage of being up above everybody. Trenig as the Burgundians on the far side there, on the flank,
Mm-hmm.
as much as this has a flank. Oh, and I get Burgundians and Bohemians mixed up. Burgundians.
So Burgundians get eco upgrades 1 age earlier, so you can
That's
see
right.
Double Bit Axe is already in for Trendig
So you
despite being in
can
Dark Age.
so you can start gathering those resources faster, sooner.
Yeah, and can also get Cavalier in Castle Age, which is usually an Imperial Age upgrade.
And
Um,
that, if you get to that can be a scary thing to have a little
mhm.
bit heavier weight coming at you. I don't know. Have we seen any monk play from Trenig this round
Um,
yet?
no, and I think that's
Oh,
due to team games. Monk play is a lot more difficult and a lot less effective.
on
Um,
a group.
so yeah, unfortunate. It would be really fun to see, but also I think Burgundians don't have a particularly strong. They don't have a bad monk tree, but not a not necessarily
Not enough that it's like probably going to try this.
yeah, not necessarily a civ you would pick, as they don't get any bonuses for their monks. Now this
Ah,
civ composition is interesting. We've seen very close to this civ composition for fast castle boomers on this map every single time, and they've been very successful. What we've seen Nathan do is kind of wall out to the side and go to Chukonu with a big oh, but then usually Jaeger has had a camel civ to back that up, choosing to go for Persians this time, which are more cavalry or elephants. So curious to see, but trying to. Oh no! All right. Um, my capture age
what I
crashed
miss?
again.
Oh no!
I don't know if there's been a game update or something, but every game I've been crashing. And I tried to
Well, that's
restart,
no
but
fun.
that didn't help. Hold on, I'll let you know when I'm back in.
Yeah,
All right, I'm on
yeah.
646.
Okay.
Moving forward, hold on.
So am I.
Okay, 656 now.
Okay,
Cool. Go. Uh,
go.
but yeah, Trennick has been pushing through the middle with kind of a line of castles and then Kustier. And then with Dark Zane on the side raiding with Cav Archers a lot. So curious to see whether they go and do that again.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah, go ahead.
I would say the map layout. We've got Trenig doesn't have much to wall if he wants to block out that backside. There's not a whole lot of space that he has to
Yeah, and I think
cover there.
I think Dark Zane is probably going to wall to the side, and then Snowy's going to go straight out to the side and get that big chunk of land. Given what we've seen from him in the past round.
Yep, makes sense.
But yeah, in the south, we have Wizel as the Romans, which we've seen from him before in Hill Forts as well. Last time, I believe, with Siege Infantry, which is pretty much what the Romans do, so fair enough. Um, Getting a boost there from his eco as well. And Pack Slayer in his pocket, sort of, as the Tatars as well. So we have a mirror matchup there. Uh, we'll see how
Ooh,
those engagements go.
see
Uh,
how it.
yeah. What is Jaeger is pinging? I guess he's found Ender's base. Ender playing as the Japanese on flank, also more of an infantry heavy civ with the attack bonus. Yeah, potentially halbs, maybe even some samurai would be kind of sweet, but we'll see how it goes. And then Fletcher in his pocket as a Khmer, which is also a civ that he favors. I think last match on Hill Forts, Khmer were banned. So he didn't go for them, but he will this time. And we have seen Khmer a number of times on this map already. Definitely a popular one. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Got Pack Slayer moving out to the back wood line behind his base
Mm-hmm.
already. Just took straight off from there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's a
Ooh,
scout. It's like,
scout
get someone
engagements
in the
here?
corner.
Yeah. So Fletcher Scout attacking Snowy Scout. Snowy Scout has the advantage actually, or had the HP advantage, but is running away. And now Fletcher trying to loop around to get the high ground. This fight. Does have the advantage right now. In the back of Fast Castle Boomers, Ender's Scout also hanging out, seeing what he can see.
Let's just camp out here on the hill and
Ooh,
examine.
looks like Snowy
What
Scout
you
got
see?
in an extra hit, and so now he has the HP advantage and actually takes out Fletcher's Scout. Well done. Wazelle Scout is here as well, though, to avenge his buddy, and Snowy will retreat his scout inside the wall.
Flees for his life into the walls.
Run away!
Saves himself
He bravely ran
for
away.
another day.
In the south, walls also coming up for Ender, walling over to the water. Actually opting for stone walls here, rather than the palisades that were started.
Ah, you've got a nice short little space there on that side too that you have to cover.
Yeah, the woodland definitely helping, although on the far outside there's actually only one single tree. That could be an issue at some point, I guess.
But at least the Khmer are on your side, not the other side.
That is true. And it's a question if the enemy can notice it. It is probably most likely going to be a problem if a wood line is set up here and they chop through that and nobody notices.
It's true. That's always the worst, when you're like nicely walled and you think you're safe. And then a woodcutter cuts through and
Alright.
the next thing you know.
Now, issue that both Packslayer and Jaeger are going to face is there's not much room on the map behind them to set up their eco.
Not directly behind.
So they're going to have to take up some of the corner space that belongs to their pocket or go forward. What do you which do you think they're going to opt for?
Packslayer's going back, I betcha.
Okay. He's going to have to find space because Fletcher's already dropped 2 TCs back there.
I still don't see him moving out forward unless he's forced into it.
Jaeger's scout has actually snuck into Ender's base and dies to the villagers. Alright. Sorry, you're saying?
Jaeger I could see going both ways, like one forward and one back.
Kind
of thing. Like one that's a little safer and one that's a little more on that gold and...
Fair enough. Yeah, there are resources in the front to take.
Outside.
It is exposed, but yeah, there's definitely value to getting that. Looks like in the back, Ender's scout was cleared up, and we have multiple players either in Castle Age or on the way up.
Yeah.
Roselle going for a back TC here. Actually, also doesn't have a lot of space in the back with the 2 wood lines there. So we might see walls out to the side from him. And we see the double dock channel block from Ender.
Going up. Oh, but looks like there's a gap in the corner.
Yep.
And he's filling it in.
Nope.
And you are
nope.
I refuse.
Absolutely not. Double TCs dropped in the back as well for Trenig. And, however, it looks like Fletcher has a scout here that snipes a villager, snipes a scout, and will delay this TC. Nice find there.
Nicely done. Like, not a huge delay, but every second can count at this level.
Yeah, and a bill kill is nice. Fast Castle Bloomers are still up by 6 villagers at the moment.
He's going after another one.
Scout goes down. But
the villagers take him out.
Fletcher just have knights set up.
Pack Slayer. Look at him. He's got 2 in the back and he's dropping 1 in the front.
Ooh, he's gonna go all of it.
He's going.
He does love his 4 TC booms, so he's gonna do his 4 TC booms one way or another.
Like wherever I can stuff a TC, it's going.
Far corner TC for Wazelle. This is a strat we've seen a number of times. I think you did that in the last set as well, and actually built a corner base, and then when Alpha Grip tried to go out, you were already there, which cost him heavily. That was rough for him, but a nice find for you there.
Yes. That was an interesting set that you cast last time.
Alright, Snowy building a back TC here. Does give him access to the gold, but further constricts the space that Jaeger has. He actually has a lot of vills waiting out here, I guess, for... I don't know if he's distracted. I mean, presumably looking to build a TC once he hits castle, but he's still almost a minute out, so that's an amount of idle TC time, which is kind of going to hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like... Then Trenig's got his 4 TCs. He's going up.
Yeah.
Boom.
2 inside this time.
Boom in base.
This time without deleting the center TC.
Yeah, that had to have been awkward. Oh, wait. What do we got? Jaeger. What's he doing? I saw green.
We have some scouts here. Snipe a villa from Moselle.
2 scouts.
Nice find there.
Yeah.
And
was it Jaeger that did that before last set? that they had this too, or was it someone else?
I think
I know
Jaeger
we've seen this
has
play
been on
style
Scout.
before.
I don't know if it was
Just
Jaeger
that
specifically. I know Dark Zane did an incredible amount of harassing with Cav Archers, which he does have 5 Cav Archers queuing up more, so he may be looking to do that damage again soon. Although, if Roman Scorpions are prepped for that, that could be nasty. Demo queued up by Ender in his docks as well.
ready to obliterate anyone that dares to come across that water.
That's right, this is my water.
Come my way, I explode you.
And uh-oh, Snowy's Archer under attack by this Snow Leopard. Probably the coolest looking animal that we have, Age of Empires. But, oh, nope. Leopard wins. Leopard had the uphill advantage against this Archer, actually. And so he wins that fight. That's kind of annoying, but not too much damage, fortunately. But the Knights from Fletcher are in on this woodline again. Find 2 Vil kills and force Dark Zane off of wood. And actually, they're might find more kills here.
There've been a fair number of like animal kills. I feel like
This
as well.
tournament especially, yeah. All right, Dark Zane's Cav Archers are here, and we'll push those Knights away. Might push them right into these Vils though, which are also being hit by another Snow Leopard, which again has the uphill advantage. Oh man, the villager survives with the Cav Archer's help. I was gonna say that villager doesn't have Loom, so that villager would have died if the Cav Archers hadn't been there to help. And Fletcher's Knights are still here, kind of could snipe that monk, choose not to, I guess. Go for that Vil instead. Loom is in for trending.
What minute are you at real quick?
I'm
I
at
think I'm off.
23:30 now.
Okay.
What are you on?
I'm a little ahead.
Okay.
24, 25.
Fast forward a little bit. That's probably because of my crash, I guess. Okay, 24:25 is where I'm at.
Ready? And go.
All right. Castle coming up from Snowy on the side. So again, moving out to the side to secure this, and probably will continue stretching out in that direction. Nice little corner
Is
eco
this
here.
what I think it is?
Hmm?
Sir Wazelle in the corner behind Hunter, behind Dark Zane, dropping a siege workshop.
Uh-oh. The
Villager's
classic,
not there yet.
the Wazelle sneak.
There he is. There's the villager. Come to build.
We haven't had a Wazelle sneak all tournament. We had a sneak base from Southpaw, but not the classic Wazelle, and there it is. Wazelle
There
has
it
also
is.
this. I just realized how nice this corner base is for Wazelle with that giant wood line securing a bunch of space. He actually needs to only build a couple houses to close this off.
And he's gonna get comfy back there.
Mhm.
Like, yes. This is our town now.
All right, Pack Slayer moving forward. Gonna drop a castle on a hill there. Start taking map control.
Okay.
And
It's like, oh, that gap. That little wall gap that we've seen so many times this series, this whole tournament. Just the Cav Archers running between the two bases.
really nice find by
Dark.
Darkzane there. That hasn't been walled off, and he'll take full advantage. Now, there's a TC here, 2 TCs from Pack Slayer, so he'll be able to protect his eco, but Cav Archers are here, and he'll need to find a response.
Yep. Because you can't just keep popping them in. Oh, look, looks like Fletcher's dropping a castle too, and he's got some siege workshops as well. So they're wasting no time.
Very defensive castle coming up from Krennic here. Oh, it does look like Jaeger is aware of the corner base, though, as he pings it, so he might see some pressure on that coming up.
We'll see how long it lasts.
3 players now on the way up to
Oh.
Imperial Age.
Oh, he's dropping scorpions in those siege workshops.
And, ooh, the Cat Marchers have diverted to Wazelle and are actually sniping some villagers.
Oh no, because they were further away than
Yeah,
Pack Slayer's vills were. They were
Yeah.
off in the corner chopping.
and Darkzane, once again, nice job, finds a couple of vills and moves on.
So,
Meets up with the reinforcements even. Big walls coming up from Snowy, so it looks like he will go
Yep.
ahead and move out to the side, and already has crossbows mixed in with Chukunu. So going for his usual play, and Trennick once again making his way slowly forward with his castles.
Ender's putting up another house wall to set up behind, and dropping a castle to protect that side of the eco. Ain't no one coming over there uncontested. It is not happening.
Yep, and a forward castle from Wazelle as well. Now this is going to be an issue if Trennick goes for his usual push through the middle with castles. This middle is already full of enemy castles that he'll have to knock
It
down
is.
first, and a lot of stables, 7, 8 stables from Pack Slayer in the center, so, and
And more coming?
Elite Step Lancer on the way. It looks like that's the play from him this game.
Yeah. And it's fascinating kind of seeing like contrasting the play on the two maps. Like in Donut, it was like early Dark Age, feudal, rush, let's go, charge, attack. And now it's like, okay, everyone's sitting castle, imperial stuff, and
Yeah.
not much has happened yet.
Yeah, lots of upgrades coming in from both teams, and Capped Ram on the way from Wazelle in his forward siege workshop, although he only has Scorpions queued up there, so I guess we'll see what the plan is there, but lots of elite step lancers as Coustier make their way forward from Trennick and are about to run into a castle and a bunch of step lancers.
That purple cluster right there in the middle. There's
Yeah.
so many.
Now, the Coustier will trade fairly decently against the step lancer, especially if they get in their first couple, like their charge attack and then run away. And Trennick actually immediately responds by setting up barracks, and he's teching, I think Halb just came in for him.
Smart move.
So responding immediately. More castles being dropped by Snowy as well, and we have fortified wall, and I think even Great Wall in for him.
He's saying you're not coming through either.
Yeah.
That side of the map is fortified. The other side is kind of like, who cares?
Yeah, but both Fletcher and Pack Slayer slowly creeping their way forward with castles, and now waves of Hussar knocking at Snowy's gate, who has nothing more than a palisade gate here. He will reinforce with a stone gate, but will have to wall behind here, which he's doing very nicely. So I think he'll be fine for now. But siege here as well, which could actually potentially...
Scorpions coming up behind.
Yeah, those could snipe away the vills.
So will those gates even be able to go up all the way, or are they just
Not
gonna
all
be
the
partial?
way. Now, even partial is already a lot better than just palisades. But now it's...
Oh, they're coming around through that gap.
Yep. Ooh, nice quick wall there from Snowy. Catches that just in time.
Smart.
Does have to wall this section now as well, but nice defense preventing that. However, this siege push from Wazelle is making its way forward now.
Oh, yep. His scorpions are out.
And in the center, we have the step lancers moving forward and kind of ripping through whatever Rennick has here. He has...
Longswordsman.
Okay. Well, he has a lot of halbs,
From
Trennick.
Was Sir Wazelle in the corner. He's got his scorpions and longswordsman.
Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to figure out what they were.
Nice. Oh yeah, so adding infantry to this push as well, which is going to be annoying. But yeah, Halb is a nice counter to Step Lancers, but Step Lancers actually, because of their ranged attack, will do much better against Halb than most other cavalry. So having a pretty good fight here, and just with the numbers, going to be able to hold this position. Although now the Cav Archers from Dark Sin are here, which might be able to push this back. Rocketry also on the way from Snowy, who will have, well, not elite Chukano yet, but with most of their upgrades. But the Treb pushes on from Pack Slayer. And in the back, Wazelle is raiding. Yes, that's a big group of Scorpions.
That's a lot of scorpions.
And he's dropping more barracks as well. This is going to be a real problem.
Huge problem. Jaeger's only... Oh, there's his third. Okay, I was wrong. He just went all the way back. Jaeger just stayed in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the other side. dropped his other TC over there, so
Yeah.
I was wrong. Oh, what happened?
Hey, Backslayer, how's it going? To what?
There's a partial built gate over here on Nathan's side. Snowy's gate. He's got a villager
Uh,
just kind of
oh,
standing there.
interesting.
Who just forgot to
Just
move.
hanging out. It's like that's pretty much done, right?
Ooh, those
Ooh.
scorpions from Sir Wazelle are moving
Yeah, and this is a really
all the
nasty
way in there.
army from Paxslayer in the front. He's got 3 Trebs now, closing out all these buildings. Lots of Step Lancers.
Surrounded by Coustier. Step Lancers, not Coustier.
Yeah, the Coustier do go down. Elite Coustier just now on the way, but this is snowballing out of control as the numbers continue to grow for Paxslayer, and Fletcher's also that has Scorpions all over the front of Snowy's base working away.
They're not giving... Snowy has no chance to build up like a mass of his archers.
No, and he had a group of Chukanu, but I think those engaged and went down somewhere because right now he only has 8 on the field, and all his crossbows are gone as well. And look
over there trying to get up a defensive castle, but
yeah,
man,
4 more castles being dropped right now by outpost rushers to take control of the center of the map.
Sweet God. Sir Wazelle's are a little more defensive, but I mean,
yeah,
that side is pretty open.
Look at all this siege from Wazelle on the side. There's now the Coustier can clear up probably all of these Scorpions, but we'll take some damage in the time and are distracted. In the meantime, the push in the front is still going.
Will they get in?
Trenik only has palisade gates here. Those elite step lancers will melt the palisades, and the GG's called.
If they actually, wow, wow,
yeah,
that was dramatic. Like,
I mean, it was very boomy. But once it hit him, it was like 3 players pushing hard, right? Paxslayer and Fletcher just rolling through the center of the map forward, with production and castle along the way, and yeah, Wazelle on the side with a siege.
Classic Wazelle Sir Wazelle coming in with his sneak base.
Yeah.
That wreaked a lot of damage in that back corner.
Yeah. And so, Fast Castle Boomers take their first defeat on this map. I think they won both other games that they had.
Trying to remember. I think so.
I know they beat
it was
Castle Droppers, and I want to say they also beat Corner Checkers. Yeah, we have.
I've been pretty back and forth, but yeah.
Fletcher has docks coming down up here. I wonder what the plan was there. Is it going demos or galleys? This is something someone... I think Southpaw was saying go Vikings on this map, and then just dock the enemy line and go longboats, so it looks like a similar approach here.
Maybe he was going to take down those docks or something, and with demos, I don't know.
Yep.
Blow his way through and have another hole.
Well, yeah, 103 Step Lancer created by Paxslayer. Crazy.
The most we had was that. Whew.
And yeah, with that 2-0, I don't believe a third game was played at this point. Partially due to fatigue due to the long night, and partially because Fletcher and Wazelle at this point left to help to substitute in for Castle Droppers and Corner Checkers on their third game, who were tied 1-1. But yeah, you can see here the KD 149 Ender with 3 kills and 4 losses was also present on this map apparently.
You were there?
I was there. Yeah, here. I was there. I had my little ball of Cav archers. Where
you were ready.
Yeah, they were on their way forward. 18 Cav archers, 22 elite skirms with full upgrades. They were so ready to help.
They were gonna take down any archers
Yeah,
that Nathan
and
had.
keep coming in. I think Yasama Towers was a plan here for me, but the game was over before I got anywhere. But yeah, so 2-0 with that. Outpost Rushers, go ahead and take first place of the Imperial bracket.
And that concludes the Imperial bracket side of the cast.
So it does. Yeah, really
Dramatic
fun
ending there.
games. A lot of really fun strats. In part due to yeah, pretty much. The game was over before I got there. That is, yeah.
Like,
I
you're almost there.
I think at the moment that the GG was called, I was like, wait, I was just
But
about to join.
but I didn't get to do anything yet here. I wanted to have some impact here.
Yeah, I wanted I was present. Hope this helps. But yeah, it was fun games. I really enjoyed playing bracket. I also really enjoyed casting the games. I think we had a lot more off meta strats and unit compositions this year, and I think in part that's because of the map pool that we had. So that was really cool to see. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, we obviously we saw a lot of Savar. We saw Elephant Archer, Step Lancer. We saw heavy demos. We saw a whole lot of Siege Ram.
so
Um,
much siege ram.
and a good mix of aggressive and defensive play. So yeah, bye
Yeah.
Paxter. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye bye. I
Uh,
love that. Like,
yeah,
not
good.
even when we've seen like the same basic style coming in from like the, the not your team, the other guys.
Fast Castle Boomers.
Yes, them on this map. Sorry, I don't have the name right in front of me.
All good.
Uh, same general style. Like the game doesn't play out the same way,
hmm
even though it's like we're going for the same general strat, but
Yeah,
did not happen the same way every time.
yeah, doesn't always
So that
work.
variety is cool.
Um, but yeah,
So,
it's been a lot of fun. And
and
with that, I think we're
so
gonna start winding down here. Anyone that is on that hasn't yet, please go ahead and fill out the feedback form.
yep.
I believe we're gonna hopefully chat about that in our last stream. I will still announce when that stream will be for the final Castle Age bracket games.
Which one of them, I mean, I was in those. One of them was fun, one of them was less fun.
Uh.
I think you'll see which was which.
Fair enough. I guess we will. But yeah,
Yeah, fill out the survey form. It doesn't take long. Pretty simple. What'd you like? What'd you didn't like? That
yeah,
sort of thing. Did you like the maps? Did you not like the maps? What other maps could we add?
exactly. And I believe there
Everyone has
are
opinions.
there are some plans in the works, which Southpaw may be looking at spoilering some of those a little bit once we hit the last stream. So keep an eye out for that
Ooh,
for sure. And
spoilers.
yeah, thanks, Maz. Glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna say good night, everyone. Thanks, Thalion, for hopping on. I know it was
Yeah.
a bit unfortunate with the timing there that you had other stuff going on as well, but thanks for coming here when you
Hey, I
could.
got the last two rounds,
Yeah,
so
there you go.
I got
You,
part of it.
you were here for the grand final, so there you go.
Woot woot. All right. So good night, all. It's fun casting with you.
Yep. Have a good night.
Take care.